Jay's.
Oh, now
Jay's,
you're leaving.
Oh, Jay's not here.
My dog cannot
Jay's
make
not
up his
here.
mind.
Okay.
Yeah, Jay's not here.
She may or may not pop in.
And Joey won't be here this week either.
He's going on a trip. Yeah,
Okay.
but it's
Everyone's just
we're on low
lame.
end crew tonight.
Okay.
I might have a chance to get a word in edgewise.
Alrighty, but how's everyone doing tonight?
I have caffeine.
I also have
I
caffeine,
left
but
my energy drinks in my car.
Don't tell
I
Jay
also have
I didn't
caffeine.
sleep last night.
I should have asked you to buy me a 2-liter, Tristan.
Hello, kitty.
Any shwoo?
Time to play some motherfucking D&D.
Time to play some
Time
Yeah.
to sell this rat man. I mean,
Let's fucking
complete
go.
the quest without the right rat man.
Alrighty. So, as once again, last time, cockfight pit. You guys found the underground. Percy and Moon were sent on a wild goose chase.
Correct.
Were we?
Wild chicken chase.
Kitty used to hear.
Really only
So,
two.
as the day went by, you were told of the of a little rat man who needed to be brought in because he snitched.
You fucking bitch.
And then fucking Menon came downstairs with him and told him like, what the? We all went, what the fuck?
And then a very loving, doting father brought him to you.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Very loving and doting.
Anyway, yeah, whenever the last session left, me and Menon were on our way out to go deliver the package.
Yep, as you two were being walked along with Kevin.
Did Kevin come with us? Whatever.
Actually, I think all of you were coming.
Yeah, we all were.
Yeah,
Were we?
Yes.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway.
we're not stupid. We're not splitting the party.
As you all arrive, you are met with James at the door, hands down at his waist, just standing looking. He's like, ah, hello, welcome.
Hey, we got a rat for you.
I see, good job. Now,
We
let's...
totally put in the effort for that. Anyway, let's have a conversation.
Yes, as you guys are led inside, you see this younger man sitting at the desk, flipping through files, writing on some documents.
Not familiar?
Not familiar, as you kind of tanner skin, slicked black hair, small frame.
Human.
Wearing a human, yes, very much human, bright amber eyes. The one thing that you automatically notice is his attire is more Eastern. Like,
you talking Eastern Japanese or Eastern continent wise?
Eastern Japanese style.
Ooh.
Okay, gotcha.
As he comes out, you can kind of see like a well-fitting sleeveless shirt underneath a loose fit. I'm trying to think what it's called.
Kimono.
Not a kimono.
A gi?
Ori?
Can you
Yeah.
describe it?
Are you looking for like the coat thingy?
Kind of. It's wrapped like a kimono, but it's loose on the top. So like if they want to, they can slip their arms out easy.
I
Do you
know what
want
he's
us to-
talking about.
A deep V kimono.
No,
Are you
I know
talking
exactly
about,
what
like,
he's talking
Shimon Benimaru from Fire Force kind of outfit.
Oh, the thing that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
vaguely
so.
that.
Gotcha.
It's a martial artist get up.
No,
Anyway.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
As he looks up at it, hello, welcome. I see you have a gift for me. As like
I
he's
show
still
my
writing.
respect by bowing. Hello, sir.
I'm not bowing.
There's no need for that. I this is a business meeting, and at the moment we are still considered equals.
Yeah, perfect. Here's your rat.
As James comes over and takes him easily, he definitely looks you up and down, Wolfric. As he continues writing, so I understand you are all here not quite on coincidence, considering the armaments you walked into my town with.
Uh-huh.
Less coincidence and more running from shit that we couldn't exactly handle on our own.
Things that
Mm.
wanted to kill us.
Ah, yes, Miss Caldwell.
Let's be real. Who doesn't want to kill these lot?
Well, considering poor little Florsh has had a target on his back for a few years now.
Little?
He's young and dragon years.
He is very young in dragon years. I
Hmm.
think he's just cracked a little over 1,500.
Which, again, in the scale of things, yeah, young.
Yes, young. But he was still the caretaker of that area, and they gave him his respect.
Well,
Until
all
they
for
decided
about
not
of
to.
30 seconds until he was gone. Because wasn't
As
it
I said,
day
until
after
they
he
decided
left?
not to.
Well,
No, he was there for a few days.
No, a day after he left from the camp.
it was
Oh,
2
yeah,
days
yeah.
after he left.
Okay, 2 days. Yeah, like it wasn't long, very long at all since he
They
left. and
made sure he
decided
had
to fucking
arrived
take-
first.
Yeah, it was obviously premeditated.
See, now they knew he wouldn't help with how far away the trip was. They were looking to get some insurance
AKA us.
leverage. Yes, I've got
Didn't
that
really
on good
work out.
authority.
Didn't really work out for him.
No, I don't think they were expecting anyone who could take down petty guards.
Yeah, that's what those were, weren't they?
Elites, that's what they tell the people to make them think. But no. But yes, as my cohorts have told me, my name is Taylor Ramados. I am the benefactor of the Ramados Trade Company, and I would like to make you all an offer.
Can I just say,
Went.
Yes,
the
Don?
moment you started describing him, I knew exactly who it was.
Oh shit, Don.
I knew it was the moment.
I've drawn him before.
I knew it was beforehand.
Did I say Taylor or did I say Taylor?
Taylor.
Taylor.
Okay. At the same time, upon hearing he's the boss, Wolf's gonna squint really quick and go, "Wait a minute, I know better than to question this."
What's your offer?
My offer is work for me and I can help you out of the city.
Help us out of
So scratch your back, you scratch ours.
Yes, this is definitely a scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
May
And
I
along
ask
the
a
way, if you have
question?
any other additional trades, I can get you access to my markets without any question. With a fairly good employee discount.
Mm-hmm.
James, may I ask you a question?
Certainly.
Wasn't the deal a rat for a ride?
Very much so.
Just gonna elbow that in, really quick.
So
Don't ask stupid questions. Do what they ask, and we'll get through it.
That's Taylor. You can see Taylor put down his pen, fingers crossed, chin on his
Like-
hands.
Yep.
You see now, that's the lovely part. I'm your ride.
Just gonna take a moment and go. Wait a minute.
just as a reminder, we are putting this on the Collingworth estate. I don't want to quote this wrong again. I'm sorry, Penny. Penelope. Penny? I'm going to call you Penny.
Why are you
from
putting
now
it
Penny
on
is
this
fine.
Just
Well,
keep all the
because-
money under the table.
I told
could-
them to build the Collingsworth, and Penelope said it's called putting it on the estate. So
That will
Anyway.
not be necessary. Especially considering I would love to make better friends with such a well-esteemed family of Tristan.
So,
Oh, no, Zobets. Zobets. I'm
Zobit,
sorry.
yes.
So about
What,
the same people that
uh,
just tried to kill us.
what do you need us to do?
Well,
I mean, she's
eh,
stolen from Zobit enough.
in return for also giving the ride a slight additional, you will act as you'll be hiding as additional muscle for my caravan heading back to Waterdeep.
Sorry, I gotta look really quick where that is.
Waterdeep, that's...
It's right here. Right. It's on the
Technically, that
western
is.
coast.
Yeah, we are more than well.
That's right about
What
where
do
we
you
need to
That
think?
gets us on our way to where we need to
That's
go.
close
I was
to
gonna
where we
say
need to be.
I think that'd be a good deal.
Hmm.
It would.
We were gonna get a ride to Baldur's Gate. So after we give the escort to Waterdeep, would we get the ride down to Baldur's Gate, or would we have to track from?
I
Just
mean, from there, if we wanted to make it a little easier on all of you, I could give you a ride to the Boulder Sky Bridge.
or you could just give us a car.
No. That would be perfect. We
It
are
gets
in the
you-
middle of his den. Do not question him.
I'm just saying, makes it a lot less trouble on his part if I do the driving.
Well,
Yeah,
unfortunately,
but-
I only have one armored vehicle with me at the moment.
Cut. Moving on.
and when would this caravan be leaving?
Oh, whenever you lot are ready.
Judging
yes.
judging by his tone, probably about a day.
He said whenever we're ready. I
Yeah,
have to
about
go
a
pick
day.
up a special order. And
I also have some business to handle over here.
Indeed.
Yes. And speaking of business, did any of you pick up anything from the soldiers other than the armor?
A couple things.
I understand that the soldiers may have been
Oros.
not so. So you do know.
A little bit more than aware.
Please be warned, most of the market is not aware of exactly what the kingdoms are. As I think, as he picks up the pen and points back at ours, as I think this one could tell you, the
Yeah,
kingdoms have
actually.
taken a very good job at covering any Oros tracks.
Hmm.
He is actually probably my first current interaction with that whole thing. I'm gonna Ars, do you mind turning around really quick?
Mm,
Just gonna point at just
Yeah.
gonna tap on the back of his helmet. Yeah, that's the amount of times he's gone down.
How many is it at this point?
15.
Yeah, what are we up to? 15?
15.
We're making notch marks on the back of his helmet to keep track.
You must have gotten lucky if you haven't been shattered yet.
Mostly he's had me to make sure his core doesn't get fucked up.
No, that is
Also
not
that.
true. It has been pure dumb luck.
Also that.
Has it?
I've been trying my best in the times he does get popped like a balloon.
Yes, I don't think they've been going for his what should we call it? His
They have
or
not
his-
been applying
his
double
scrap.
tap.
while they saw it, he turned into a little ball of sunshine. No one was going after it. So I don't think it was luck. I think it was attempts of subjugation, but we will leave it at that.
They don't
You watch it
see
like he
what's hidden
spins the-
under.
Watch as he spins the pen, taps on something on his table, and picks up a tablet. As you kind of watch as he gets this faint blue glow. As he begins to scroll up. Yes, I can see ours. Now, my only concern is you are very much so. Or you should have been indoctrinated into the Kagon Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, those armors you're wearing automatically react to the kingdom you belong to.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you pitch black?
Reasons.
Because he's edgy.
Hmm.
We'll
I
burn
don't
that
know.
bridge before you get to it.
That was not in character as the point of note. Because
Although I will say,
Penelope
as
did
like
not
he
do that.
also then He double taps on the screen again and brings up. You can see a couple more faint glows. I will say, the yellow makes sense on you. You, however, have that nice purple shade.
Who's he
Who's he
talking to?
talking to?
He's looking at you directly in the eyes.
Menon?
Me?
You is the specific.
Yeah, at
Got it.
Menon. And then he points at Kevin. And you.
Yeah, we don't know what his deal is.
Hello.
It's a very nice shade of green you have. Doesn't quite match up to any of the other greens.
The party thinks I'm special for whatever reason.
No,
I'm
it
cl-
doesn't
I'm
think
inclined to
we
re-
know.
I'm inclined to
Special was
agree.
a strong
Well, I
word
say more
for,
stupid, but that's just me.
potential money from selling bone marrow.
Okay, here's the thing:
Oh,
we don't know if he grows it
speaking,
back.
if I were to ask for a price on this little bad boy as I pull out the little core that I got, how much could I get for it?
You watch as he waves his hand to come closer.
Gonna step
come
out of the way so
closer.
Kevin can move.
He looks over it, or he asks it to be held, let it be handed to him.
Sure.
As he looks over it, as I'm told, you were looking over an item in one of my shops. Is that correct?
Oh yes. Yes.
Did they give you a price point?
If I do remember, the nice shopkeep said 2,000 gold.
Hmm. I'll make a trade. The score for it.
Ooh, that sounds like a very good deal.
He watches. He sets it back on the table, pulls out a stamp, pulls out a pad, writes something down, stamps it, hands you a note. Give that to the shopkeeper if you agree. As he puts his hand out to shake.
I will then put my hand out to shake. Pleasure doing business with you.
You watch as he doesn't even flinch. Likewise, as he picks up the orb and spins in his hand, all of you watch as that core, with like that faint blue light it had, begins to fade and drain until it's just a see-through marble.
That's unsettling.
Like, is it now just more so
It's-
a glass bead?
Yeah.
Moon.
Mm-hmm.
It looks very familiar to that material that you saw
In the chicken.
in the chicken.
And the chicken, you say?
In the chicken.
The core that contained the fire.
Ah. Ooh.
As he sets it down. Now, if anyone else has any likewise business, I'm all ears.
I may be looking to purchase a couple items. I may not need to buy them directly from you, but I would like to know who to go searching for.
Hmm. And what would you be looking for, little Oros?
Items related to a spellcaster's nature, such as scrolls, spell books,
Why are you
Parchments?
looking for this?
potentially parchments.
He pulls out a paper and begins to scribble. Go to alley 3, and you want the 4th on the left. His name will be Alan Bismarck. Give him this, and he'll give you the fair rates.
Thank you.
Anyone else looking for anything specific?
Not that I can think of, no.
I'm just
Yes.
gonna keep quiet for now.
Do you have something called a jetpack?
Shut!
You watch as he kind of chuckles. Unfortunately, not here.
Hmm.
Maybe more along the lines in Waterdeep. A dear friend of mine might have something whipped up, but unfortunately, this town's a little in
Red.
the more subtle locations.
Mm.
Fair. Second question. Do you have 3 traitors or people I can execute real quick?
Just gonna look at him like, what, dude? What the fuck?
Not here, but
Hmm.
if you, the
I told the guard I had 3 contracts here. I didn't.
Menon, you can lie to people and not follow through on it.
I'm
I have a
perfectly fine with you
reputation.
lying on that.
I have a reputation.
Your reputation will be fine. They won't know.
If they asks, 3 people were found dead. If it's all right with you, can I take my leave? I have to go pick up a special order.
You may be my guest. Just note that I will be here for whenever you. I'll be here until we leave.
Thank you. And I put my hand out and say it was a pleasure meeting you.
He shakes your hand very eagerly. It'll be a pleasure to work with you.
As I take my leave to go pick up mine and Joey's special products.
Hey,
That's kinda
roll me
sad.
a perception check.
Okay. See if the dice hate me today. They do.
His hands feel weird.
Are they clammy?
Like they feel weird, and you notice that he has a pretty good grip strength.
I mean, I know what that means. I'm not gonna say it.
Hmm.
Leo knows. Wolford doesn't.
As he looks towards the remaining 3 in the room. Now, Mr. Zoe, was there anything that you were looking for?
I pull out the half of that core that the goblin. It was goblin, right? No, not goblin.
Ratman.
Fucking Ratman. The chicken guy.
Okay,
Yeah.
Gave me.
Leo.
Let me. I take it you're the one who was able to enchant these to give off those other element, the elemental power.
As he watches, he picks up the core.
A half. A core.
No. What?
It's a half a core. Remember, because the chicken got cut in half.
No, he
Yeah,
picks
but
up
he's
the
talking
full
about the
core.
one on the desk.
Ah, okay.
The full clear core.
The one he gave the big
No,
suck
but
to.
I am one of the people who can make the ingredients.
Ingredients. Is it a? What kind of process is this?
As he watches, like he spins, and you watches the orb just spins on a finger.
Mm-hmm.
As he watches that blue glow begins to come back and then turn that silver.
So you're able to reset these, I see.
As he watches it slowly, it fills and then it slowly comes back. No, I'm able to manipulate the aura. No, note, I am in fact 100% human.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a bit of a rare trick, if I could say.
Do you think you could teach others the trick?
Oh, please, others know how to do it.
I don't think
It's
any of
just
us
the fact
can.
that I'm human and can do it.
Yes, that is good. Ah, son of a bitch.
But now, let me settle this quick. Miss Penelope,
Oh, yes?
I would like to advance a special offer with you. Or to you.
Yes, what is it?
So, I was quite fond of your father's work.
And so was I,
And
obviously.
I may have found a good spot that your father had looked through.
Hmm.
That is not on any records.
Oh.
I would love to be looking for a nice thrill seeker to go and with an armed battalion, of course, to take a look and see what was left behind,
Ooh,
if that interests you.
absolutely.
Spelunking,
It
but with a
does.
armed guard. It could be so dangerous in the tomb that you'd need a bunch of people to come down with you. Don't worry about it.
Oh, well, considering the last stop on her father's tour,
Mm,
It did not go well for him.
no, gunned down like an animal. It was a shame.
I heard it was a cave-in.
believe everything the kingdoms tell you.
Who told you that?
I mean, I don't believe everything I've been told. I
You watch as
figured
he
it was a
taps
setup.
on. You watch as he taps on a document, or he taps on the tablet again, and waves you over and hands it to you.
Take it.
When you're ready, go find a nice spot and you might want to see what your father was actually doing.
I'd love to.
But with that, I would say this is not for prying eyes, so I would recommend you go back to your room and decide there.
Oh,
When you're ready, just talk to, I believe his name was David, and he'll be able to get you into the right direction, okay?
Absolutely.
As he watches, he nods, and James lets you out of the room.
Wolfrick's going to stay behind.
I am also going to be staying behind.
Just gonna look over at ours. You mind can me and the boss man have some privacy here?
By the way, Tristan,
Yes.
I'm assuming you left right away?
Yes. As soon as I got it.
I'm gonna go add the item into your inventory.
Mm,
Cool. I will remove the
Quick, ours, rock,
note
paper,
of the
scissors,
other
me.
one.
bet. On 3?
Are we typing it or are we just doing this out in the open?
Typing.
Okay. Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Tristan, last item.
Fuck. Okay, ready.
3, 2,
Last time. Okay,
1,
cool.
go.
Actually, I think that's wrong.
Let's
Fuck.
go.
Fine. Wolf walks out of the
Yeah.
room and lets ours go first.
What's the difference here?
I'm just picturing we're just playing rock, paper, scissors right in front of him. Just.
Fuck. Motherfucker.
No!
There you go. That increased it.
Go fuck
Yeah, you should
yourself.
have a 5.
I won't take too long.
Yep, that works.
Yeah, whatever.
As he sits down, his eyes are looking. He's like, "And what can I assist you with, good sir?"
You seem to be pretty well put in terms of information, yes?
Well put.
Do you happen to have any documents on potential cover-ups from the kingdoms?
Quite a few.
Hmm. Okay. Would it be alright if I took a peek at them?
You have to be a little bit more specific than that, I'm guessing.
To put it mildly, I was in a state of recovery and I have been told nothing about why. So I would like to try and figure that out.
I might have somebody who can look into it.
That would be much appreciated. Because if I have someone else looking into that, I can look into my benefactor a bit.
Benefactor.
Yes, a benefactor of sorts.
Out of the room, I can't see shit.
No, you cannot.
do not wish to pry, but knowing your kind, that is never a good thing. You should
Let
watch your step.
I understand that, but let's just say, and I'm just gonna tap on to like the black highlight on my armor. They're the cause of this.
Interesting. I'll see what I can do. I'll get you in contact with somebody. If you could please send Wolfric back in.
Yep. I'm just gonna
Zo, did you
take.
leave?
Yes,
Yes.
I believe he did.
I'm taking the strip of paper for my little shopping trip, and it's just like, thank you. I'll send them in.
Wolf watches ours walk out and just immediately like pivots on a foot and walks in. He was standing right outside the door waiting. I'll close the door behind me.
Hello, Mr. Wolfric.
Yeah, you slipped into ours' accent there for a second. Anyway. Well, first and foremost, and I'm going to reach into the bag of holding and pull out 3 cores in one hand and set them on the desk.
3 cores in a hand.
3 cores in my hand, and I'm just gonna all palmed in one. Just a boop, boop, boop. Wolfric's got big hands. He's got murder mittens. Anyway,
As he looks at me, he's like, what is the... As he's picking up the hand by, like, a finger.
no. Wolfric put it down in his hand. Put all that down in his hand. I'll be right back. I'm being screamed at, so we'll pick this up in a second. You just go help the other fuckers. I'm being screamed at, so that
Okay.
means urgent.
Okay.
The phrasing there was great.
Okay, Tristan, I will let you choose. Which one of those do you want?
I would like the one that I asked, the one that I asked you for right there, buddy.
I will be nice.
Yay.
Do you know it is not an actual rod? It's a...
The actual item name's Rod.
I can't grab it.
Did you name
You
your
can't
rod
grab the
Rod?
rod?
Why can I not find this magic item?
It's in the DM's guide.
Which I own. But it's not on the list of rods.
Then I guess I can just do the first one. That's fine.
I could make it happen. I just have to do some background shit. Okay, background bullshit. Let's go.
Woo! We got time. Yeah,
is
baby, that's what I'm talking about.
It is only gonna be a +1.
That's fine. Is that in addition to the other thing we talked about, or
What was the other thing?
the rock, the stone?
That is the stone.
Oh, I thought you said that the stone would needed to be crafted into something.
So, Tristan, that item, these 2 items, can be condensed down to the one single part that makes them work.
Oh, okay. That's totally fine then.
It's something that Adventures League does all the time. That's how a
Okay.
ruby of the first one exists.
Okay. Then I would love that then.
Okay, so I put it there. You get a +1. So your spell save increases by 1 and your spell attack increases by 1. How the fuck do
Well,
I
it's
edit
specifically warlock spells. So I'll just have to know.
Okay. So yeah, you'll just have to make sure to keep track of that. Which is why I
Yeah.
think the other one would be a little better, but okay.
Well, I'll just blast as a warlock spell.
Yeah, but that one would at least affect all your spells, not the saving throw, obviously, but
I mostly want it so I can regain spell slots.
yeah. Percy, what are you looking for? Or no, we'll do Steven since he's on a low time.
Do I get my
Un
stuff
momento, por
through,
favor, mi amigos.
What were you looking for?
the thing I ordered for me and Joey?
I'm trying to remember what it was.
The suits.
Yes, easily made and delivered.
Cool. I am now dapper with a Hawaiian shirt as the button up.
I approve.
And Lucky also got one. And then I just am gonna hang out in the tavern.
Alright, sorry about that food situation.
I understand.
Alright, so, I believe you were asking me what I was looking for?
Yes.
I'll be right back.
Alright, well, am I already at the place he handed me the note for?
I would say you could have walked there, yes.
Alright. Hello, Jobkeep?
Hello?
I was told to come here for any spell casting equipment I may need.
Okay, what can I do you for?
I'm looking for spell scrolls and spell book.
Okay. What type of scrolls are you looking for?
Some general use enhancements like haste, shield of faith, or any party trick spells, if you will.
Man, you're gonna trick the party?
Okay, well, spell books, depending on the material and how big you wish. Try to get the cost because that's not something that's actually in the handbook.
Gotcha. Oh, I do not have enough desk space for this. Alright, you go there.
Okay, so ordinary wizards who write spells include the monetary expense. 50 gold to buy a blank spell book. So it is 50 gold for a blank spell book. And then if you want him to inscribe any spells early, that'll be 50 gold per level.
Would it also be 50 for cantrips?
Wizards cannot inscribe cantrips.
Gotcha. So it'd be 550 for the book and 10 first levels?
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Did you say 550?
Yeah, 550.
Okay.
Would it have actually been just 500?
No,
Okay.
because the 10 spells for 50 and then
Yeah.
the 1 spell book for 50.
My roommate called me downstairs because he had been at the hospital all day.
Oof.
Yeah. Oh, it's nothing too serious for us, at least. It wasn't him. That was in.
So it's
Anyway.
gonna be. So a second level spell would be how much?
I believe it's 100.
Damn.
How much money do you need?
Hey man, I made it
Not
big
there.
yesterday or last time.
Right, I think you would like had like 10 times the amount of money you normally had.
15.
Yeah. God, it's crazy not being the only person in the party with money.
Yeah.
Bidim?
It's Sky.
It's the child.
The child has returned.
Satanas has returned.
This guy's gonna just leave because we keep calling him a child.
The guy's character is the child.
I'll take the book and 10 first level spells.
Okay, that will be
550.
150 gold. And what spells are you looking? Or no, 550.
Yeah. 550. 164.
First, you just get me the list, and
Yeah.
it will take him some time to inscribe that.
And then what did you have in terms of spell scrolls?
I have a few different spell scrolls. You were looking for party tricks, correct?
Mhm.
Well, this is one of my favorite party tricks.
Is it the
As he
boy?
pushes it forward. And I will sell it to you for a small fee of 150 gold.
That is a good deal.
Thank you.
Yeah, can I double check what the scroll is before I fully confirm the purchase?
You can roll Arcana to try to figure it out.
Oh, I more so wanted to ask him, but I'll roll the Arcana.
I'm sorry, I'm back.
Oh, gang's here.
Percy, it's the boy.
Yes, I will definitely take it.
The
Yes.
boy? What's that mean?
It's the boy.
That's helpful.
As
Alright.
he goes.
You don't need to know right now. It's fine.
As he goes and says, yes, well, as for that, otherwise, if you have any other wishes, it will take me some time to get the spellbook prepared. Other than that, I do have a few other scrolls, and I do have some potions for sale.
We could actually use some more healing supplies. How much are your going rates?
My potions are 100 per bottle.
I did show him
not bad.
the written note I had
Yes.
received, right?
My strongest potions are too much for you.
Yes.
I did show the note?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. So 100, you said?
100 per, and I do have 10.
Damn.
I'll buy 2.
Okay.
I am super excited for the next Dragon's Dogma. Anyway.
As he goes and he fetches 2 small red vials. Now, have you ever drank one of these before?
No, the healing I've been receiving has been, stab and inject.
Yes, the newer age methods.
Indeed.
These follow a little more potent healing magic.
Drink.
If you drink the vial, if you take your time and drink all of every drop, you will receive a massive amount of healing.
Is the butt chug rule in effect in this campaign, Danny?
So,
No, shut.
it was a fun fact that you guys talked about that when I literally implemented it.
Did you?
Yeah. So, rules for potions. You can use a bonus action to get basic healing, but if you use your action to drink the entire potion, you get max healing.
So what's the butt chug rule?
Bonus action for quick,
But you get.
long action for...
Okay, I gotcha.
Oh,
Which-
okay, it's different. Never mind.
What was yours?
Stick
You
it up the butt.
You stick it up the butt because it's if you butt chug alcohol, it gets you drunk faster because it goes straight.
It is also
through.
super dangerous.
Yeah. So if you butt chug healing, it's a bonus action for max.
No.
You
No.
have to actively call out
You
that
don't
you're
have an
bringing up
ass.
your ass.
It's more potent, right? But that's what I was asking.
No, I didn't use that rule. I used the custom rule I was thinking about.
Also,
Oh,
Steven,
That, what he's saying is that's a decent.
Thank you,
That's a decent
Percy. I
home rule.
wanted to hear it.
yeah, no problem.
Okay, anyway, moving on from the butt chug conversation.
No, let's get on the butt chug conversation.
What should I put them down as on my sheet, Danny?
There are 2 greater healing potions.
Okay.
For 100 gold, shit.
Regular healing's 50.
Yeah,
I need to reevaluate my healing potion prices.
nice.
They're magic items.
Yeah.
Hey,
All right.
you guys had a healer.
I
You're saying that to the fucking healer.
Yeah, I know.
Anyways,
I'll work on getting you the list.
So just because Steven is going to have the less time with us here, we're going to go Steven,
Yeah,
Sky, and then back
Double
to
back
Sky.
to me. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
So, Steven,
Feel like my thing's gonna take a while anyway.
did you have anything else you wanted to do, or did you just get your suits?
I wanted to get my suits, and then I wanted to do something else. Oh yes, I wanted to commune with some
Papa.
papa.
If he was in a party with 10 fucking people.
Okay.
Christ.
You have to find a dark spot because it is day.
Actually, I'm just gonna help Lucky set up for his concert for the night.
Alrighty.
One farewell concert.
Hello, Sky.
Hello.
So, Sky, basically what happened was the entire party was brought and introduced to the big man, Taylor Ramados, the head of the trading company, and he had offered a job that will basically you give him some extra muscle and work for him, and he'll get you much, much closer to Boulder's Gate.
Gotcha.
Of course it was Taylor.
Instantly seeing the man, you get a very calming presence from him.
It's your papa.
It almost feels like he radiates a calming aura. Or radiates a calming aura.
Fred as that's a class feature.
Did you have any questions for him?
No,
Is there anything you are looking for?
not particularly right now.
Okay.
Well, we got a lot of money.
You do. Did you bet?
Oh yeah, I made
I didn't.
1,000 gold.
I didn't, which is probably for the best because we didn't want to break the poor guy's spirit.
Um,
I mean, I paid him back afterwards.
I know, it's still. I don't want to
I
break
took
his
my
spirit.
money and left.
what kind of shops are around?
Oh, I have everything.
Oh,
Depending on what you're looking for, I have a merchant who will fit that need, and I'm willing to point you in that direction.
+3 great sword.
No,
hmm.
don't make the same mistake I made.
Do you have someone with thermonuclear warheads?
You don't know. Okay, anyway.
He did say everything.
I don't know. Is there like a general equipment shop somewhere?
Easily done. Go down to aisle 3 and it will be stall 4.
Are we at Home Depot?
Pretty much.
Hell yeah.
No, we are
Damn.
not Home Depot.
Fantasy Costco.
Yeah, because Home Depot's trademark is it's definite. We're at Depot Home.
No,
Yeah,
we're at the
just
black market.
We're at Low Deep. Where do you think the fucking modern black markets are, man?
All
Oh,
right, so
Tristan.
we're in IKEA. Got it.
Tristan, what did you think about the news for Lowe's?
I like it.
I was so fucking happy.
What happened with Lowe's?
They took Lowe's off our eligibility list.
Oh.
So
It was nice.
yeah, we don't have to call them anymore.
I don't get to speak with Dawn anymore.
Yeah.
Nah.
Dawn, the manager of Lowe's.
Okay, moving on.
Moving on.
Easily, he tells you to go look for a Tim, and he'll be able to help you find anything you're looking for at that shop.
Okay. I'll
Back
find
to-
it, Tim.
Back to Wolfric
Back to the
and
Catman.
yes. This is now when you complete the action.
This is 3 cores on the desk.
Yes. Do you remember what colors?
All blue.
Blue.
All blue.
Yep.
As he watches, like he looks at them, was like,
Found the all blue.
Because I don't have any of the whites.
what? How much are you looking for? Or is there something you are looking for?
There's a couple things I'm looking for, but the material item might be a little out of the current wheelhouse.
Try me.
Rather the means of making it a material item. I'm looking for old world enchantment.
Old world enchantment. How old are we looking?
I'm just gonna pull the sword out of the bag slowly. Something to match this.
He looks at it as like he puts his hand out if he could see it.
Just pull it out and hold it out with both hands.
As like he lifts it out of your hands looking at it. You can watch it like he runs his hands and you almost hear like friction as he moves his hands.
Mhm.
Very nice. As he
You
watches
might
like
know the man that made it.
he watches like he puts his middle finger down on a part. He watches like little lines run through his finger into the blade.
Mhm.
An alloy between bone, scale, and steel. Very unique to make something of this level.
Well,
The cold is
we-
a nice little advantage.
if it works.
Oh, trust me. As you watch, like he takes his hand off, you can almost see the frost building on his fingers. It is indeed working.
More so aimed at a certain thing that we beat the shit out of, taking resistance to it, but
Well, that's because it was what resisted this.
big machine thing with one eye.
An enhanced.
Whatever that is, yes.
They're mechanized Oros, so they use the Oros core to run the machinery like a supercomputer.
Oh. Well, we killed 2 of those. I don't know where the cores of those 2 went.
Oh, you know exactly where they went. Stop playing.
No, I do. Wolfric
Well-
knows he's not ratting you out.
That's surprising. Honestly, that's surprising.
Whoever would want to come forward, those cores would probably be worth 3 times the amount I will offer you here.
Mhm.
Give
Well-
us a number, Danny.
Either way.
You also have to realize they're in the possession of probably the last person who's going to sell them.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
And there's no way for any of us to get to them.
yeah.
Because the fucking bag of holding is in your fucking pocket.
Pocket.
And none of us are playing rogue, so I can't pickpocket you.
He looks at them,
Anyway,
they're pretty good quality. The commands in them are weak, so easily overwritten.
Well,
If you don't care to get them back as material, I will give you, as he begins to dial on a calculator.
I have no use for him.
Carry the 2, divide by 3.
What's he dividing by 3?
You know, 3 cores.
I was about to say, wouldn't it be multiplied by 3?
No, divided by 3.
Oh wait, no, each.
He's finding a value. Yeah, he's finding the individual value instead of as all three.
He got the grand total price easily, and then he had to divide it to the amounts.
That's a decent chunk of money, yeah.
Yes, unfortunately, these are lessers. If they were commons, they'd be worth
10 times.
Just about 3 times more.
Oh, 3 times, so.
That's just the charge and power that they carry.
Fair enough. But that's all well and dandy, but if I have nowhere to spend the money on what I'm looking for, that might be a problem.
Don't
So,
worry. I
on
have
that
a
note-
man.
Any direction I should go?
Unfortunately, they're not here. They're in the main office.
Fuck! Okay. 2 more things. First and foremost, this wasn't in the other man's. This wasn't in James' wheelhouse, but perhaps it might be in yours. Have you seen any other shifters ever?
Saw one about 30 years ago.
Did it look like this? And he points at himself.
A little more muscular. Didn't carry heavy weapons. He was more of a sword and board type of sort. Looks like I saw a spellbook on his side.
On that note, I was picked up whenever I was a child, however fucking long ago. Tristan east of Nathud. Because that's the area you did point me in whenever I asked where I was picked up as a kid.
East of Nathud.
Right here-ish.
Again?
On the map. Right around here is where you told me.
Keep pinging.
Ah, you bitch!
There it is, okay.
Top right corner.
Yeah, no, I was in the opposite corner of the map.
Okay. Anyway.
Ah, yes, the Hordelands. That makes sense.
I was picked up there. I have no idea if I had any family at that point. It's probably been too long to track anything down. But any information on the other clans would also be useful.
I know there's 2 clans remaining up there. If I remember correctly from my texts, there were about 12 clans that were there originally. And then once the Oros appeared.
And perverted the entire cycle, yes.
No, Percy.
No?
What did Percy just
No.
say? What did Percy ask? Do I need to not worry about
Player's
it?
Handbook, bitch.
Alright.
Anyway.
You are not getting Dunamancy.
Hey! I will fucking build Dunamancy into my next character.
Well,
Don't
so,
think I won't.
the only reason why I asked Danny is because the general list I'm looking at isn't based off of book, it's just
It's
a
wide.
list.
Yeah.
I
No,
do have
literally,
Dunamancy spells
you
on
have-
hand.
It has to be Wizard, it has to be base Handbook, or Xanathars.
Yep.
Mm,
No super fun shit. Anyway,
gotcha.
so 2 clans left up there out of a total of 15 that are at least known.
Well, also, I think they were each merged of 3 clans apiece.
Yeah, that makes it a little easier. Might have to pay a visit up there one day. Assuming I survive. The last thing, and he's going to pick his sword up off the desk at this point and flash the symbol on the hilt. Anywhere I could find more of these. Anything related to, and he's gonna point at it without saying the name, just in case.
As he goes, yes, in fact. As he watches, he slowly flips like his arms through his sleeves, revealing a similar motif on his shirt.
So I'm at that amount of gold. Huh.
My monastery followed very similar practices.
Good to know.
Before the
Oros.
before it was shut down. So
Before, again, everything was perverted and changed.
yes, my teachings have been outdated for many years.
God
But
damn it.
what,
Maybe
Percy?
not specifically.
Empire.
No, I was trying to type out a name. I ended up typing Fire Nation.
Good job.
Good job.
And then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
Wolfrick's gonna take a breath really quick, and it's obvious he's thinking about something. I had a friend this time around, back whenever I was serving in Kagon. He was a outside contractor from the Hells. He handed off this emblem to me before I was sent off to camp. At that point, again, kind of didn't know who I
From
was.
the hells.
One Mr. Valafar Blackwood.
You watch as like his face grays when you say that.
Mm-hmm. Like grays how?
Like sees a ghost.
Uh-huh.
It just turns into actual gray.
Like he has a tan look to him.
He just
Definitely
just goes fucking white.
pale, yeah.
Wolfrick's just gonna take a pause about that at that and go, huh. Didn't think he had gotten that far around.
Well, he worked for me.
Well, he was the one that passed this emblem off to me and said it's better to believe in something rather than nothing.
Good words from him. He was a good man.
Is
Good
man.
He looks at you.
Mm-hmm.
Was.
Lord, don't you do this to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know who my backup character is, you bitch.
Last I heard, he was.
Your backup character.
Last I heard, he was captured.
Motherfucker.
But that was a few months ago. And
Where?
even my specialist wasn't able to confirm or deny anything.
Wonderful. Well, regardless, to follow the earlier question, I'm still kind of lost.
Well, considering you are in the presence of a man who has one of the last remaining intact texts
Uh-huh.
of his teachings.
And you're just going to lend that to me.
I will let you read it if you make it to my library.
Let me guess. In Waterdeep?
The one and only.
Mother. Okay. So I know what we're
Unfortunately,
doing
this-
tomorrow.
It's not going to be that easy, Spry.
Unfortunately, to tell you this, Waterdeep is the largest of the free cities.
So it'd be an issue.
Hmm?
It'd require some looking, wouldn't it?
Well, getting there
Okay.
is the issue.
Fair enough.
Spry.
Once you're in, you just have to look for my name.
Spry, I just have a single question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What you know about drowning in the deep?
Mm-hmm. Well, you know.
No barrel rolling down
in
into
the
deep.
deep.
One last question. Does the title inheritor mean anything to you?
Inheritor,
Mm-hmm.
one who takes on or receives the burden.
That's what I was called often whenever I was a kid.
Inheritor, huh? Now that I think about it, I think Valipar did mention somebody who was being called that.
It was technically my call sign.
Hmm.
Wait, would have brought this into the backstory, but I didn't have enough room for it.
I will say, though, there has been... It's
Mm-hmm.
not the first time I've heard that call sign, though. Or at
I
least
guess
something similar.
you've heard it over the past 200 years.
I've heard it over the last few days.
Last few days?
A soldier or a unit being call signed the Descendant has been seen quite often in the Gaigon Kingdom over the last few days.
Wolfrick's hand is just gonna twitch at that, and he's gonna go, uh-huh. Interesting.
From the reports that I've seen, he has a very similar look to you.
Yeah, that sounds about right from what I've been told. Specifically
Only
from
the silver
what Steven
hair, though.
said. Well, we'll handle that beast whenever the time comes.
I think my specialist may have got a news report on him. I would say maybe you all should go meet them. They're quite a fun little lass.
Point me in a direction, I guess.
Better to at least have a lead. With that, I do need to finish my paperwork.
And yeah, Wolfrick's not gonna hold them up any longer at that point.
And as he lets you all out,
Hey, what a
Sky, did you figure
what
what
a
you want?
surprise! Tay is buried in paperwork.
No, Taylor is.
Figured out what I want.
Taylor, I'm
Same
sorry.
person.
Same person.
They are not the same person.
Same person.
Anyway,
Now, was there anything specific you wanted to try to hunt down for your character at all, or?
Not really. I was just kind of browsing.
Okay.
This guy's like, I haven't been around enough to know what's going on.
Could I also try looking for a bag of holding for myself?
200 gold.
that's cheap.
Anybody got
Wait.
75 gold that I can borrow? Or 53 gold I can borrow?
I don't know,
Actually,
dude,
I may
who
want to
are
buy
you
myself a
going
bag
to?
of holding too.
Who are you going to for it?
Yeah.
Probably my one of my jukebox friends
So you're going to Steven.
who are more indifferent towards me than the flippin' wolf and the
Hey.
elf that thinks that I'm trying to steal a child.
You are trying to steal a child, and we all know
You are
it.
trying to steal a child.
Nobody said steal.
Kidnap and
Kidnap.
steal are the same thing. Okay, anyway, moving on.
So you asked me for money.
53 gold, please.
So you walk up to me now in a custom tailored 3-piece suit, looking swaggy as hell.
Probably about the time I walk back into the to the fucking bar.
Yeah,
So you
and
come to
I'm
me
like, look,
on the day of my tailored 3-piece suit, asking for a favor.
Kevin, I will give you the gold, but in the future you will owe me one favor. Worth 53 gold, of course. I'm not going to ask you to
Did
sacrifice.
somebody say a favor?
Yeah, no, stay out of this, Wolfric. Do
Oh,
we have a
fuck you.
deal?
Favors generally accrue interest. What are we going to say about that?
No interest.
Just a favor worth 53 gold.
All right, just a favor worth 53 gold. Then I'm 100% down.
I give you
With no
53
interest.
gold. With no interest. I shake your hand and give you the gold.
Nice. And now I'm up to 200 gold pieces exactly to buy a bag of holding.
So it's $200. Is it $200? It's 200 pieces of gold for a bag of holding. That's really cheap. I'm now starting to form WMD plans.
It's a limit one per customer.
Fuck.
I
They're
am.
easily made, but she's still a lone craftsmith.
Danny,
Hi.
can I find a stall that sells tracking devices?
Yes.
How many could I get for 100 gold?
2.
Small ones. So, okay.
2 to 1, depending on how far you want the tracking to be.
I'll take one that can go very long.
It's a tracker that works within 1,000 feet.
Cool. I put it in Lucky's suit before I give it to him. I will know where my brother is at all times.
Okay.
You cannot steal him from me. If you break that tracker, I break your head open.
I'm not gonna steal Lucky. Why would I want to steal the robot man?
I don't know. We're also going to turn him into the face of our party.
And
Where we're going to be doing shady shit while he's performing.
fair enough.
Can I become the drummer for the band? I don't want anything to do with the shady shit.
Yeah.
That's the skeleton man who is the shady
xylophone
shit.
player.
Yeah, you just take
sent
2
you the
ribs
list,
out,
Danny.
and those are your drumsticks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Perfect. Okay, cool.
And also,
And then
I can, if I don't have drums, and I can use my rib cage as a xylophone.
I was just gonna say I give Lucky his suit as well, Danny.
Easily.
Cool.
Dawn.
Yeah?
As you get yourself to a much like a nice, well-secure position,
Okay, your private room in the tavern.
you begin to read.
Mm.
As you begin to read about a lost tomb that your father discovered with a cohort of his. Roll me a perception check to see if you can get the full details.
Let's go raid it.
What?
I said, let's go raid it. Anyway.
Shot.
Perception.
The cohort's name was Onyx Balewing.
Aha.
Well,
As
shit.
he was there to offer support with a decrypting older glyphs.
Being a Rosetta Stone.
Nope.
The official thing said that your father was alone. But as you begin to read further, you begin to find a report of a spec ops team that moved in and was completely annihilated.
Somehow I'm not surprised.
The plot.
I don't fuck around.
As their one remaining drone that was keeping track of the area caught light, you see the black dragonborn walking out, or no, black half dragon walking out wearing a porcelain mask. Dawn, this one's gonna be the really big one. I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Alright, I've got cookie in my mouth.
As you begin to see this picture, the room around you begins to fade. As you find yourself in a field surrounded by a starry night.
Oh.
This is reminiscent.
As next to you, you see a small fox with
Mm.
red eyes and light out trim.
Mm.
I've seen you before, haven't I?
Yeah, Dax showed up to the
Hello
party.
again, young one. Have you enjoyed the gift we gave?
Why are you trying so hard to get me to use that core?
Not for that. We only gave it to you. What you do with it is your own. We just ask that you don't sell the wishes of your father.
I'll keep it, but I don't know what to do with it. I'm not eating it.
For my
Somewhere
power,
in the far distance.
know here, child, for what I say is true. My greatest power has always been to reveal lies.
Well, I
With
haven't
that,
trusted this government for years.
would you like to see the truth?
Yes.
As your vision begins to fade, you find yourself in a damp, dark zone. Looking forward as you see two men walk and approach and begin to looking at something that's around you. As you begin to look, you are a pendant.
My food's here. I'll be back.
You look next to you, you see two other pendants sealed in a case along with you. As you watch as they're slowly unveiling and reading the text around you, you begin to watch as more men pour into the room holding weapons. As the two men put their hands up and resist, you watch as the more human of the two men gets shot in the side as he begins to fall. You watch as the dragon, or the
Half-dragon.
large half dragon, bending behind him, grabs the pendant next to you. He grabs the yourself and the pendant next to you. As he pulls you both off, he is gunned down, instantly dropping your pendant, but the pendant in his hand absorbs into him. As you watch as a porcelain mask begins to wrap around his face, you hear nothing but the cackling. As you watch as this man tears apart the entire unit in front of him barehanded. Wounds healing with every damage, moving forward viciously in a familiar pattern that you just feel like you recognize. As he turns back, you begin to see a pattern on the porcelain mask that you would recognize as an upside down biohazard.
I do believe I've seen that symbol before.
You watch as he goes over, as he tears the other pendant and just chucks it on the ground, and he kicks your pendant into the dying man. You watch as he leaves, and as your pendant bends into the dying human, your vision begins to fade of that of a memory of the man and his wife and child. As you hear the words,
Yes.
I do not care what happens to me, but if you could give the only one left of us the best odds of survival, you may use me as you see fit. As that's when your vision comes back.
God, I'm getting little tears over here.
As next to that elf, you see as next to the little fox, you see another shadowy figure, that of a man.
Well then.
Turns out your dad was Gaba this entire time.
Dawn, I
Fine,
have bad
warrior.
news for you. If that is the case, I am going to eat your dad.
No.
Mm.
Kinky.
As you see his head just tilted, you can kind of see like you can almost see a smile on his face, but his eyes are just making a smiling motion.
Well, I'll do my best to find some way to use this well. Thank you.
As you watch as the man fades, the fox, as it begins to fade, says, "Do note, it can bring you back, but for that it will need to be ingested first. Let that be known in case, considering that is the second most powerful core I have ever made.
Thank you.
Use it well, child. And happy hunting." As the fox fades and your vision comes back to full.
I'll keep it away from the trash can, man. She's gonna put
Keep it away from the
core and
furry
the
as
stuff
well.
inside her backpack.
Don,
Yes.
at the very
I'll
end of the
just try to sell
document,
it.
you begin to see a marker that says it's a contract, basically stating terms of service of work.
Mm-hmm.
In return for assisting in the locating and archiving of this ruin,
Mhm.
you would gain exclusive access to all written work. This would become your personal find,
Ooh.
and you'd have the backing of the Ramados Trade Company to keep this completely unredacted.
Yes, please. Let's go cause some problems.
At the end, there's literally just a sign your name and a yes button, yes or no.
I'm signing my name. I'm pressing that yes button.
As you get instructions to go and speak to the bartender, and he would get you set up and set in your own direction. We fade back to the party.
You know, I'm just saying it's not racist they're judging you on the inside rather than the outside.
Sure, keep
No.
telling yourself that.
Well, I still hang out with you guys, and I hate most Auras.
You don't have a
The
fucking
weirdest place
choice.
to come in.
Oh, I have a choice. I could leave right now if I wanted to.
Yeah, and then get what, fucking murked in the woods?
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time.
Big fucking whoop.
Well, anyway. I'm just gonna... We're just gonna stand up. I got a purchase I gotta go make. Or at least try to make.
Yes. As you also remember that Taylor said there would be a nice person for you all to go meet.
I did mention that to them in the interim. But, first and foremost, Wolfrick's is gonna go try and find that goddamn mask again.
You find it easily, 25
How
gold.
much? There we go. I need something to cover my face up. Anyway.
Why, you
20
don't
gold.
like being an obvious Catman?
No, I don't like doing sketchy shit and people knowing who I am.
So, are you guys all going to go together, or what's the plan here?
I mean, I come back at that point and go, just raise my hands up in the air like, what we doing, people?
I don't know. I'm not there. I can't tell you.
No, I know. I'm talking to the people that are in the tavern right now.
You are all informed of this person.
I did mention that. Hey, we got an information broker out there. Sort of.
We go talk to him.
So,
Or her.
what do you want
they
to
have-
do? Do you want to go with them or back to the forge?
I needed to actually speak to Taylor.
You did.
Yes, I never got asked if I wanted to, so.
Okay.
Go talk to him.
I'll probably. Where are you meeting them?
I don't know. Where are we meeting them?
They told you at the direct left upper corner of the market.
There.
How close would that be to the force of nature?
Nowhere near.
All right, last minute shopping can be saved.
We're currently in the market.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Force of Nature's on the other side of town, upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you guys begin to walk that way, you see this large black building with on top it almost looks like a observation booth where you just see like multiple colored lights coming out of.
No. Should we?
Might as
I guess
well.
I'm the one
Obviously
that's
a
gonna
rave
be.
up there.
I guess I'm gonna be the one going to knock. It's on a bill. Is it like a building or like a watchtower?
It's like a watchtower. It's like somebody sunk a watchtower underground.
And there's a ladder.
There's an
guessing?
actual door into the tower.
Ah, okay.
So it's more
Yeah.
like a lighthouse.
It's a watch post.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna walk up to the door and knock on it. There's a boom, 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 boom.
For
As you-
clarification, I did go with him.
As you knock, you watch as this black circle, it glows red, and it looks at you.
Taylor sent us.
You hear a click as the door unlocks.
See, easy as that. Open the door.
As you enter, immediately you notice something weird.
Mm-hmm.
You see automatons.
Automatons.
Or, yeah,
Oh, the
automatons.
robot.
They're
How
robot.
Robots.
how archaic in design compared to Menon and Lucky?
They're about the same.
Cousins?
But none.
Not a
But
good thing
none of
to
them
do
s-
at the same.
I'm assuming
them what?
all of you went together, correct?
Mm,
I guess. I don't know.
Everyone except for Moon.
yes? Question mark.
Steven, where you
aren't
going?
Lucky and I
Yeah,
supposed to be
yeah.
performing?
Not yet.
It's later on in the evening.
Yeah.
Steven,
Okay,
you
then.
notice them? They are nowhere near similar to anything you were a part of.
You know what they're missing, Steven?
Whistle.
They're missing the
Hawaiian.
Hawaiian shirt.
As you
Shirt.
watch one of them, their eyes glow red and looks at you. Very rude, sir.
Who are they saying that to?
Two Menon.
Okay.
We have souls, or at least I do.
Initiating apology ritual.
Don't you do that.
1-0-0-1-0-0-1-0-0-0-0-1.
00100100010.
Is this something I'm too? Is this something I'm too organic to understand?
Beep, boop, 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 boop.
They're talking to each other in binary.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, just speak another language I don't understand. Thanks, guys.
Joke's on you. I actually do speak binary.
He has accepted the apology. What are you guys? Is he our contact?
No, we were sitting here for a
That
sheet.
is going to be the little missy upstairs.
Are we going upstairs or is she coming down to talk to us?
You all can go upstairs. I think she's having too much fun in her surveillance booth.
There's no such thing as too much fun. And Wolfric says start walking upstairs.
I look at it and say, "Thank you. What is your model number?"
6969.
Oh, this is not my body. As you watch the eyes stop glowing red, and it goes back to doing work.
I
assuming
need
it's a
an
network.
exorcism. I need an exorcism.
It's probably a networked intelligence.
I follow the group upstairs, like
Yep.
constantly peeking back.
Hey,
at
so,
it.
Spry,
Mm-hmm.
those don't exist.
They don't? Okay, never mind.
Oros were very much against the creation
Of AI?
of AI.
As
That's
we
why.
get upstairs, I have to leave.
That's why their cores were. That's why they use cores instead of actual robots.
Have fun. Have a good night, guys.
Later,
Yeah.
Steven.
They don't want to create something that could be rivaled to a core's intelligence.
Which means there's no Elon Musk in this area.
Oh, he got
Thank
murked.
God.
Yeah.
Thank God. That's
As
the
you
best
all get
thing you've told me
upstairs-
so far.
And Dawn, do you wish to describe this person, or do I just do the art?
I mean, you can do the art and I can describe.
Yep. So as you all get upstairs, you see this person slowly turn around and look at all of you.
Mm-hmm. Great. Oh, God. She's ginger. She doesn't have a soul.
No, I sold that a while ago.
No.
She's fairly short, sort of coppery brown skin.
Wait, is Penelope
natural
leaving the
orange hair.
party?
Yeah, Penelope's taking a break.
Ah,
Oh.
that's what this is.
Yeah, that's what this is.
Hi, Dawn Surprise.
Shy a surprise.
Huh.
Yeah, who are you?
Oh God, I hate her voice. Ah,
Hey.
this isn't Wolfric speaking. This is Leo. That's oh God, it's so happy. I hate it.
Who are you guys?
Ours handle this. She's too cheery. I don't like it.
I want to say that in character he's doing that, just stuttering.
No, yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. He doesn't know how to react to this.
We are just a band of people from the woods looking for an info provider.
Well, you're in the
Taylor
right
sent
spot.
us.
You're in the right spot. What can I do you for?
Phrasing?
Drugs.
Eh,
What do you guys need?
and for Taylor sent us because there's apparently scouting stuff you had to tell us. I don't know his words. I don't remember. Kind of thrown off my guard right now.
Would you like some help?
That's my job. What did you say?
I'm asking Wolf. Wolf, would you like some help? You know, settling down.
No, I'm fine. It's just weird. She confuses me.
You sure?
Yes, I'm good.
What
Cool. You don't
information
have
do
a
I need to
choice,
tell them,
Danny. I'm
Danny?
using the scroll.
What?
I'm using the scroll.
Oh fuck.
I'm raging.
There is no save for it right now.
What'd you do?
It's time for a Dance Dance Revolution.
Ha! Yes.
Oh,
Hey,
What are
buddy.
you guys doing?
Enjoy the California girls.
God damn it.
Weird out. He's casting Irresistible Dance and making Wolf do the fucking California
How
Girls
long does it last?
Long enough?
Long enough, yes.
Oh no, it's
That's just-
irresistible dance.
Duration
Concentration up to 1
1
minute.
minute.
Yep, up to 1
So
minute.
Wolf starts dancing.
Mhm.
And immediately upon that happening, he looks at ours with fucking rage in his eyes.
And we're all just gonna be laughing our ass off.
Oh, she's
Motherfucker.
laughing.
See,
You
I
better get
told
ready
you
to
I'd
add a mo-
help.
You better get ready to add one to that fucking body counter after this.
I'm doing you a favor.
All right, let's see if I
Just
can get the information you need.
Just angry cat noises.
And I go fiddle with my computer and see if I can bring up the information they need. Since I don't know what it is, Danny's gonna help out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hint, hint, hint.
So Dawn,
Yeah.
roll a intelligence check with your proficiency.
Good enough for you?
Yeah.
Now
As you begin to roll, I'm trying to remember what people were actually looking for. Spry, were you wanting to look into the...
Vaguely, yeah. It's better to have it than not.
Okay, so as the large catman goes, he wants to see some information about this guy going by the Descendant.
All while
Which
dancing.
is-
It's a title of Descendant.
What?
It's a title or a call sign, etc.
Yeah. Which is super easy because Taylor was also asking about him. So you pull up some video cameras as you see a large man who looks very similar to you wearing a porcelain mask just walking around. As you watch as like someone tries to charge him, he flicks his hand and they just be cut in half.
Oh boy, a challenge.
Like you just watch his hands just down, you just watch literally a twitch. And this guy falls in 3 pieces.
This guy seems like a nasty customer. What do you want with him?
He looks directly at the camera.
He just Tsubame guy shoot somebody, but anyway, well, after seeing that and his general build, more than likely I'm looking to fucking kill him.
All right then, awkward
Main thing-
silence.
Where was
thing
this taken at?
in the Gaigon capital.
Wonderful.
Spry, roll perception check for me, by the way.
Hey, dip it. Character sheet guy, pull it up. Give me a second.
Spry.
Dip it. Real good at these. 9.
As you're looking, you see a slight glimmer coming out from around his hand, and the big thing you notice is there is like no iris in his eyes.
Yeah, it's not foreboding or anything. Yeah, that's target number 1 right there. If we ever run into him. Not that I think any of us can handle him right now, but we'll see.
And on with the 18, you actually got a new ping on the guy.
Oh, hey, got a new spot. New ping on him. Where's he at?
As you get a ping, he was just spotted in Parados.
I will relay that.
I'm pinging the spot.
So he was in
Uh-huh.
Gaigon. Which Gaigon is.
Hey, I know that area.
To be exact, he was in the Plains of Purple Dust. And he was just spotted on a CCG camera.
Ah, right there. Okay.
So he went from Gaigon to Trusa.
In a couple of days. As the big thing to note, when he was spotted, he was covered in blood. And he was carrying a head.
Ahead of what?
A humanoid head.
I was hoping you'd say of lettuce.
Yeah,
Done.
Sam, I was like, I had a load of
Yeah.
you fucking
Cabbage.
idiot.
Roll me another intelligence check with your proficiency to see if you can identify the corpse.
Alrighty.
It's Flourish.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. We're doing good today.
As you are looking at the face, you don't get anything like identified on his face per se, but you do get a tattoo on his neck.
Yep. Is it of a star?
I would be of a star.
Don't worry about
Fucking JoJo. No.
it.
What you see is RAD, or no, RA16597.
Bunch of numbers.
Or no, 98.
RA 16598. Is that what you had said?
Let me actually get you the right number. That is also the wrong number. I'm just going to put it in chat.
Yeah.
Good job, Danny.
All this is happening, and Wolf has finally come down for the fucking dancing spree. Because it has been a minute. Fuck you. Seriously,
He's
it's
still
quiet.
not over being weirded out by the kid, I'm guessing.
Oh,
I mean, she's
absolutely
18,
not.
but like,
It's weird.
she's still short.
She's too cheery.
Okay, now Spry, here's the question. Is Wolf more put off by the cheery kid or blinding rage for having made dance?
Yes. During all of that, as Wolf is cooling down, there's just a right, the chicken.
Yeah.
Just gonna pick
So
him up.
that's what's tattooed on the back of his neck.
Does this mean anything to you guys, or do I need to look that one up?
Looks like a bunch of numbers to me.
It's his school lunch number.
No, it's too long for that. It's usually 4 digits.
No, it's around 6.
Is it?
Mine
wasn't-
did
it was-
6.
Yeah, mine
For
did.
me, it was 4.
With your natural 20, I will say you do find some files saying that this was a... you've seen the number for a certain model series, but the H3 stands for the handler 3. So it seems like he was a special ops of some kind.
Oh,
He the true spec ops.
this guy takes out spec ops. You sure you really want to be figuring out where he's at?
If not to avoid him.
I mean, good point.
Also, Dawn?
Yeah?
Last thing that you'll get from the natural 20,
Mhm.
last feed of the camera was it looking up at the camera, and it just completely vanishes. Like, you watch as, like, dust moves from around him, and it's just gone.
He knows.
Also, apparently he can either go invisible or teleport or something. I don't know. I don't like this.
Well, we might not have a choice at some point if we end up running.
Neither do I.
What? Who said that?
You just see that one robot.
Yeah,
There's
what's
another
his deal?
robot sweeping. There's a new robot sweeping.
Yeah, what's his deal?
It's Sweeper Bot.
Helps me out.
Okay, but what is it?
It's my friend.
That's helpful, thanks.
Yeah. Glad to help.
The Zentarum is only here to help.
Yeah.
Please tell me his name is Sweeper Bot.
Hey, who wants to go to the
Take a
Feywild?
map. Take a map. Nobody else here gets the map bot jokes.
I got that.
Well, I get the map bot jokes. I was not saying
Yeah.
anything.
Okay. Well, that's all
Take
good
a
and
map.
neat. Don't exactly know. I guess I can glean why Taylor wanted us to pop by and see what that guy was all about, because he's obviously a fucking problem. How much of a
Yeah.
problem, I don't know. But on that note, anybody else have anything they want to really glean info on really quick?
I think I have something worth searching into.
Take your
What
step
you
up
want?
to the podium.
What you want?
Danny, we've established that I remember at least the mask the person was wearing, right?
Oh.
No?
You remember hearing something about a mask, but you don't remember what it was or what it did?
Well, no, I'm not looking into that. It's just I know what it looks like.
You just remember the eyes being bright red.
Do you happen to have any redacted files on a simple alleyway murder?
I'm gonna need a little bit more to
Kagon,
go
I'm
on
guessing.
than just that.
Well, that's gonna be a problem because there's little I know about it.
He was the one
Location?
getting murdered.
Location?
Uh,
Kagon Capital, right?
There's alleys in everywhere.
would that be a history check, Danny?
God, I hate how she talks.
Oh, history.
Yep.
It's so bright and still filled
I'm
with
not
hope.
even.
One it
I'm not even.
mattered
I'm not even
most.
there, and I hate it.
I will say you do know it was in the eastern portion of the Kagon capital.
Somewhere in eastern Kagon.
Capital.
Well, I mean, I can take a look, but I don't know if I can find anything. An intelligence check?
What class is she playing?
Disadvantage with proficiency.
Some sort of wizard, I'm guessing, or sorcerer.
I don't need disadvantage.
Wait, is your int modifier
You don't find
just 3?
Yeah,
you don't find any files, but you do find a small camera where you see a man walking away from a battered body with like 2 holes through its chest.
Does this ring any bells?
The major thing is the guy who's walking away, he is covered in static.
Danny, would that actually ring any bells?
The spot looks familiar.
Yeah, that does look like it. Can I take a look at the body?
See what
That's
I can
lying
do.
on the ground.
Enhance.
What kind of check do I need?
I'll say it's easy for you. He'll need to roll perception.
Oh boy. back to back. Come on, back to back.
Intelligence, did you say?
You'll be able to do it, Dawn, easily.
Woo!
As you look in, Percy, you begin to watch as the wounds on him are slowly beginning to close.
Would I be able to recognize the body as my own?
Yeah.
Yep, this is it.
Add one to
Alright.
the body counter.
That's one of the
Does
originals
Wolf just reach
of the
over and
body
like
counter.
put another line
Yeah,
on his?
we gotta catch up, man.
What was that
Turn
all
around,
about?
I got it.
What was that all about?
Don't worry about it.
Well, whoever you're looking for over here looks like he doesn't like showing up on cameras. I mean, I don't either, but
He somehow got redacted in video, which is interesting.
No,
So-
it's literally static around him.
Yeah, like I said, he got redacted in video.
more like he got redacted in real life.
Oh God, how do I
So
even talk to you?
So I can't glean anything about the actual person.
No, he's completely concealed.
Mm,
Well,
well,
I mean, our little friend here could try to roll something to see if they could remove that filter, but...
Let's see if I can try to clean this footage up a little bit.
God damn it! I hate these Snapchat filters.
she's just gotta go grab her power glove really quick.
God damn it.
Hacker man.
I hate
I love
it
the
so
power
much.
glove. It's so bad.
As you do your little thing, you watch as, like, your phone glows red.
Yeah.
And you
I
watch
gotta
as...
get this.
You watch as it just glows red as it's plugged in. You kind of see the red eye on your camera turn on.
Uh-huh.
And you watch as the photo clears up a bit. To the point where you're able to make out a smiling figure with red eyes.
Well, we got a little bit more. Ring any bells?
Do the red eyes look familiar?
They feel familiar. The major thing, as you're watching, you watch as two creatures fall behind him and begin to follow slowly. Walking on all fours, slick bodies, long metallic-looking tails, almost mechanical or organic mechanical-looking joints.
Biomechanical.
Yeah.
What the dog's doing?
Hey, Lord. Does that
Hi.
trip anything in Wolf's brain?
Roll a history check. Actually,
I think
no,
I'm-
roll a wisdom save.
I was about to say, I think I know what those are. Of course, it's always the stat I have a +1 into. Never mind, it didn't matter.
It's like you blink, you feel like you like see yourself in an alley at one point, as you see one of these things charging you, and that's when you wake back up. As it opens its mouth, you see no eyes, you see nothing but sharp teeth, and inside you see a second mouth.
It's a husk, isn't it? Gonna go on a
You
limb and say
don't
the silence. I'm gonna go on a limb and say that silence isn't a confirmation, but it isn't a denial either.
You don't know.
Yeah, Wolfer's
As
just gonna hold his head at this one.
You could clearly see, like, bone-like plating covering this thing. It was fast, and, like, when you think about it, your chest kind of hurts. Mainly just one solid slit running down.
Yeah, I'm just gonna not. That hurts to look at.
As you guys watch, as you don't know what these things are, but you watch as they patiently and slowly walk with the man until they eventually fall into his shadow.
And you guys are some creepy footage.
I may have something to ask somebody later.
Dawn? You begin to hear, I don't know what those are, hun.
Yeah, I don't know what those are either.
Like, I'm looking at some files here. Those are redacted even above my clearance level.
Oh, that's fun.
Well,
Yeah, that's gonna
that
be.
being said,
That's
yeah,
a
let's
mystery,
not.
isn't it? Huh?
Hey, ours, which certain thing of certain death do you want to do? Mine or yours first?
Hmm?
Which task of certain death do you want to do first? Mine or yours?
We'll save mine for last.
Yeah. Well, we'll burn those bridges whenever we get there.
Does anyone else
Yeah.
have any questions that they would like to try to look up?
I do have.
unfortunately
I do.
I'm
Oh.
not there, so I can't ask my
Yeah, I was
question.
about to say you're not there.
Tristan,
Yeah,
you want to try to find anything?
sure.
Wait, did Griff come with us?
Yes.
Guy, do you want to try
So-
to find anything?
No.
Your soul,
Okay.
maybe?
Never mind. Griff didn't come with us.
So, what can you find out about me?
You.
Me.
I don't know. Who are you?
I don't know.
Who
My
are
name
you?
is Kevin.
He's a skeleton.
He's,
Hmm.
He likes
I'm not gonna say
spaghetti.
that, Rod Street.
I mean, I can.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see if I think I can maybe find something out.
Or possibly if me is not if me is not specific enough, how about this symbol that I have on my arm as I show her the
That's a
eye?
good place to start. Yeah, I'll see what I can find out about that. Oh, dang. I was so close to being another nat 20.
What did he give you?
The eye on his arm to look up.
I'm gonna say, as you watch, you see your screen kind of like flicker and just some red static as the eye appears on your screen, and you just begin to hear screaming. Just
Hey!
like you begin to hear mechanical, distorted.
It's the
You went-
voices
Just
in my
went-
head.
presses the mute button. I think that's enough of that. What is your problem, sir?
Oh,
Yeah.
nothing. I'm just trying to
There's a
find
lot.
where I come from.
Yeah.
Would it happen to be the Hells? Cause like,
We wishes.
So
noted.
that
Kevin,
would make statement.
as you say that, you watch
I'm
a
just
Sweeper
gonna
Bot looks up.
scooch a little further away from Kevin.
Kevin,
Yes.
you watch as Sweeper Bot looks up, and you watch as a compartment opens on his chest, revealing a small circle.
Oh, that's a little neat little toy. Or they kind of like bend down.
Okay.
Damn, he's
Yeah,
showing
that
you
hits.
how it's done.
I will do a.
Oh.
Is that a one?
Hey, there's delicate equipment in here. I'm not having you guys break things.
As he watches you fire the spell, you watch as the chest begins to glow blue and absorbs it.
Yeah. See, Kevin.
Sweeperbot OP.
Won't
This
you
is
guys
why
stop
we-
fighting in my space?
Hey, I'm not doing anything. This ain't my fight.
I got it just the way I like it. And I got all this expensive equipment in here, and if you break something, you're paying for it.
Well, not an issue for some of
As you
us.
begin to hear in the
Yeah.
robotic voice, you have been warned, Hexborn.
Hexborn. Hmm.
Oh, I thought we were just playing a little game there.
Yeah,
all this fun.
Kind of weird.
Bonk Kevin on the back of the skull with the hilt of my sword. Quit being a problem.
Dawn,
Yeah.
Not being a problem.
it's very rare that you see the droids actually be protective.
Yeah, I'm
Anyway.
a little concerned. This isn't normal. What exactly is his deal?
We don't know. He's just mildly obsessed with the child. And speaks in 2 different voices. It's weird. We don't talk about it often.
Sky, you
What do
did
you
say
mean I
you
speak
came
in 2
with us,
different
right?
droid voices? You
What?
guys are funny.
Did you come with us to the information tower, or are you on your own
I'm
little
back
adventure?
to it, so
So he's crazy. Got it.
Okay. I would like to potentially find out some more information on our friend
It turned
Griff
Sky up.
here.
Give me a second.
What?
I don't know why Sky.
Sort of gesture towards Griff, just like, do you potentially think you can find anything on him? He has been a mystery to us.
Preferably we go drop him off back at home.
Shoot him closer so I can see.
Okay. Probably won't like what you see.
You're a little young to be out, aren't you?
Yeah, until you see him actually fight things, and it starts to dip into uncanny
He just-
horror.
he just
His age
shrugs.
isn't the matter.
It's the thing inside.
Kevin,
You'll shut up, Skella boy.
What? I didn't say anything.
Hey, Danny.
Hey.
What do I get on a 21?
On a 21, as
Oh,
you
no,
go
it's
through
not cursed
and
character.
look at him, you see his face wanted in every single kingdom.
What the fuck, Griff?
What in the actual heck have you done?
For
Have you,
grand
eat
theft
people?
against the crown.
What? Griff, what the fuck did you do?
One of us! One of us!
With
and here we were thinking the child was normal.
that, you see that he is wanted for possible connections to the theft of a ancient artifact from the Kagon Supreme Archive.
Just gonna slowly look over to Griff.
God damn.
Okay,
What?
High
do
five
you
me, kid.
remember
That's
any
cool.
of this?
Any of what?
Any of that grand theft shit? That's right there on the screen.
I ain't never committed a crime in my life.
Okay, but what about the other one?
Insight.
Insight, y'all.
Insight.
Yeah.
Can
I'm
we?
not gonna insight because I didn't.
Damn.
Sky, roll an advantage to deception for persuasion.
Deception or persuasion?
Fuck.
I ain't never committed a crime in my life.
You see, Wolfric, and you were saying let's drop him off home.
The facts don't lie.
Okay, it might have not been him, but it might have been the other one.
Major thing you don't know, you cannot find any security cameras in any part that would have been in that zone for the vault or the archive.
Did you eat the security cameras?
I don't know. I've been told I
No,
eat a lot.
like you look, there's no record of security cameras ever being in those spots.
Retroactively wiped out?
Well,
Jeez.
I'm going to be honest, I wasn't expecting to find this. I more so wanted to know if he had, a family he could write to.
I can poke around and see if there's family connections.
hey, Griff,
None.
do you have any family?
No family connections.
God damn it.
Alright, son, have you ever heard of Batman?
Who?
Yeah, it's a bat and it's a man.
Achievement unlocked. Orphan.
Hey, Lord, which kingdom is the one that does genetic tampering and all that?
Oh, that's Tristan.
Yeah, here's the thing about Tristan, guys. Yeah, they made a Batman. That thing didn't last very long.
Yeah,
It was an abomination. Let's not talk about it.
I was more so talking about the rich billionaire man who fought crime in a bat suit.
What? That sounds
Oh.
absurd.
By the way, there is one kingdom that is offering double the reward.
Which
Who?
one?
well,
Wait, Kagon.
No,
Oh,
the Glacic Kingdom.
really?
How much is that reward?
Everyone else is offering 50K.
They're
Oh.
offering 100.
They're offering 173.
Hey, Griff,
What's up?
you want to scam some people out of some money? They're kidding.
Potentially.
Well, we'll see about that if we ever pop over. Well, regardless, there is one last thing, specifically but I think we all have vested interest. Can you tell us the whereabouts of one Ranger Flourish?
Ranger Flourish.
You can roll that one with advantage.
Didn't need it.
God, this character isn't cursed.
As you are looking, you find Flourish was recently sighted flying back to his camp after what was considered a long discussion with the Prime Minister of Zobek.
Well, there you go.
How long ago was that?
2 days.
And where was it seen over?
The last time he was seen flying out of the city. Major thing, there was no blows made in the city, but there were threats made, and he left without being dismissed.
I'm gonna pull out my phone really quick.
So he's
Do I have
technically
do I have
AWOL.
service?
Percy, he's retired. He is a park ranger.
Oh, so he literally just said "fuck you."
Yeah.
I'm gonna,
Good
like I
man.
said, I'm gonna pull my phone back out. Do I actually have service?
You do now, technically.
Hey, does anybody know Flourish's phone number?
Does he even have a phone?
That's a good point.
I
trying
can
your mom's
look
phone
it
number?
up. Would
Do you
like
think you'll
me
be able to
look
find
up?
it? Because if you can, he might actually want to know where we are.
I can find darn near anything if I put my mind to it.
Uh-huh.
Dad, I'm scared. Could you come pick me up?
Jesus Christ!
Hopefully,
Hey,
You
Lord.
usually find two phone numbers, and you can tell one of them is a burner and the other one's an actual house phone.
Well, we got
Well, first of all,
a house phone.
keep
Which one
those
you
on
want
the
to try
screen.
first?
I'm gonna try the house phone first.
Do you want me
Raise
to try
the
the burner?
phone up. Nah,
Puts
I'll
it on
call him.
speaker.
I'll call. Yeah, put it on speaker. Just let it ring.
Who are you calling first?
House phone.
As you hear it ring, you hear a female voice pick it up and go, "Hello, we are not going back. You can stop calling."
Silva, is that you?
Wolfric?
Yeah. Technically, most of us.
How did you get this phone number? Where
Don't worry
are
about it.
you?
We're currently in Riveris.
What the hell?
Yeah, the camp got attacked.
I know they attacked the house as well.
Yeah, we fucking biggity bounced.
Well, that makes sense why Slimgold can't find you.
Did you not see the note I left in the kitchen?
No.
Yeah, there's a note on a counter in the kitchen telling you where we were headed.
if
First
memory
floor, Cat.
serves, it was because you put a dagger through said note, so
Well,
it
yeah,
could
but I
make
put
mixed
a dagger
messages there.
through the note so they would see it.
Unfortunately, the rest of the dining hall was ravaged and burnt down.
Oh. So another attack happened after we left.
wonderful.
It seems.
Okay, the DM.
Roll
the
an
DM
insight.
Me?
I'm not remembering I left it. All
Roll
of
an
us, I'm
insight.
guessing.
You specifically, Spry.
Oh.
I don't remember leaving anything lit.
That might be how they found you so fast.
You know what? That makes sense. Kind of wasn't expecting them to come back through. Never mind. Yeah, where's Flourish at?
He's surveying the area. Where are you heading?
Well, like I said, we're currently in Rivera's for the day. We'll be heading to Waterdeep within a few days, if not tomorrow.
Okay. Listen, stay safe.
Mm-hmm.
We will get someone to meet you there.
Okay.
There's
Don't
been a
believe
maniac. Flourish was attacked by some maniac in a white mask, so.
Oh.
White mask, moved really fast, kind of creepy motherfucker, black hair. Right?
White
Black
hair.
White hair. Okay. Porcelain mask.
I believe so.
Yeah, we might we might have already done a little research on him. Good to know. Hey, good to know you people are okay. I'm gonna just. Everybody else heard that information?
Yeah, as you're on speaker. Just whatever you do, don't go to the Zobet capital.
Gotcha.
That's where the maniac was.
Don't go to the Zobet. Well, he's apparently outside of the Zobet capital now, but
Spry.
Yep.
That was 2 days ago.
The most recent sighting?
No, he was. Floris was attacked 2 days ago.
2 days ago, whenever the first sighting that we were shown was.
Oh.
So what I'm hearing is don't go to Zobet unless we want to pick a fight with somebody.
Spry.
Yeah.
The attack that happened in the other town was a day ago.
Yeah, he's moving around. Good to know that one's a little bit more of a threat than I thought he would be right now. Wonderful. Okay, I'm going to let you people figure your shit out while we handle ours, and I'm gonna hang up and call and call the burner next.
Okay.
And this one's not going on the speaker, and I'm gonna actually hold my finger up and walk out of the room.
It rings as it picks up and goes, "You've reached the personal form of Ranger Flourish. How may I assist you? If this is the Zobat capital, you can fuck off."
Or is this a voicemail or him actually talking?
It is him.
Hey, it's
Where the
us.
hell are you?
Rivera's, we just talked to your sister. We're going to Waterdeep, probably tomorrow or similar.
Okay. And it's like you hear a thud as like it sounds like he's landed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are currently in Rivera's. That's where we were headed. Might have left a note that actually tipped people off that where we were headed. Yeah, so don't want to talk about that. Regardless, we packed up a bunch of books with us before we left, if you're wondering where some of those are.
Okay.
Secondly, what do you think about a man named Taylor Ramados?
Good man. Shady business. Especially for the mob boss that controls over half the continent.
Yeah, we might be doing a job for him.
Do it. It's good work and it will keep you together.
Yeah, we're going to Waterdeep for that, actually. And while we're there, he's sending me. Not so much sending me. He informed me that there's one of the last surviving texts of the big old platinum lizard there.
He is a collector
A little bit more than that.
and a fanatic.
There we go.
He doesn't just have text for Bahamut.
Text not just for Bahamut, or not just text related to Bahamut. There's more related stuff.
Ask him about the tattoo on his left shoulder.
Well, I guess I know what I'm doing tonight. Thanks. One more thing. We might have killed a bunch of people on our way to Rivera's. Technically, I don't know if I would count them as people.
Was it in self-defense?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna call it.
And then that's what I'm going to believe.
Okay. I rated your armory for shotgun and some live ammo, by the way. Bye.
What the? As you hang up.
Yep. Oh, that conversation went well. I'm gonna head back up at that point. So Florsh is okay.
You know he probably has your number on speed dial now.
I don't care.
All right.
They do know we're going to Waterdeep, as you all know. I got a conversation to go have with Taylor after this, so if we got anything else we want to do with this, and he's gonna motion to the ginger, whatever this is.
My name is Anetta.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
God, I hate her voice so much.
I'm assuming you want to meet up with your purple boyfriend at some point, or so.
Hardy,
Damn.
har. Purple
Listen, I only give you
roommate.
shit because I know you'd give it back. Yeah, they were roommates. Anyway.
And they were
roommates.
And
roommates.
they were roommates.
I love how 3 of us just went to the same point.
They were roommates.
Anyway.
Oh my God, they were roommates.
I want to say that my girl said that in character.
Yeah, they have a weird relationship, but granted.
Fucking,
three of us
fucking Zoe definitely just randomly, just out of nowhere, just said they were
Sneezes.
roommates. No, they were roommates.
Anyway, if you guys have anything else for her, I would recommend doing it now. Don't know whenever this is going to be a thing again, but preferably not as often the better. It's not that okay.
When what
To
is?
preface, I don't dislike you. You just weird me out.
You don't like the preppy girls?
Gingers are weird.
What do you have
Give
against
me-
gingers?
Give me one more hack check, please.
I don't know. I think she'd be pretty good at the party, honestly.
Kevin.
Great
As
all
you're,
my rolls today.
as you're going, you watch that red light appears back in your screen. As it gets you, it pulls up another detail on the grand theft.
Oh boy.
Oh?
The item that was stolen was a artifact that was left behind by one of the previous king from a previous generation. To be exact, it was the remains of a great enemy slayed by the third Kagon king,
That makes a lot of sense.
which was only remaining with a black orb.
Hey Griff, did you happen to swallow a black orb at any point?
Mm.
Insight check.
Like a little M&M looking thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna insight that.
Danny.
Skittle.
I believe him completely and totally. I don't even
Danny.
question. Yeah, okay.
Fine.
Upon here, is there an image of the supposed black orb, or is it just word based?
You get there's a picture that was taken months before when it was first turned into the archive. That of a perfect, and I mean like the darkest black.
Does it look familiar to me?
Roll a perception check.
Oh boy, if it's what I think it is, we are. Well, you said insight?
Perception.
Okay, thank goodness.
Birds of a feather.
Although it doesn't fucking matter.
Percy, as you're looking, you notice something on the side of the orb,
Oh yeah?
but it's so dark you can't see it with how the screen is at the moment.
Well,
Another question.
Can I
to
enhance?
ask.
You can enhance, and then I will let you roll a perception at advantage.
Me or her?
Dawn.
Do I need to roll a
Nope.
check to enhance?
Perception
You are not
anyway.
handling the enhancing.
Okay. So I need to roll perception?
Yeah.
enhance.
I ain't great at perception.
The
little bit
first
blind.
bad roll of the night.
Okay, so what do we have here?
It's just dick butt.
No, it's a goose head.
You can
looks
just
like an
you can
E?
just
Maybe? Could be an E. I mean, it could be a D if you looked at it a different way. I don't know. You guys see this?
It's probably most likely.
anyone else can roll at a perception check.
Me excluded, I'm guessing.
No, you can roll one.
Oh, cool.
And this is where Wolfric lands a natural 20. Another
Yeah, you
natural
said.
1.
And
Just gonna lean forward really quick.
damn.
I mean, you clearly can make out the outline of an E that is black on top of the black. The only reason you
Black
can
E
make
on
it
top
out,
of E. On
the
top
only
of
reason you
black.
can make it out is because it's engraved into the core.
Weird. I don't see shit.
That don't mean anything to me, so I don't really think that it's important, so I don't relay it.
Well, I'm
Mm,
gonna get along the old dusty trail. I'll be in late tonight. Hey, R's, feed Papa for me. I don't know what he eats, but figure it out.
all right.
The chicken's your responsibility for the evening until I get back.
You guys have a chicken?
Yeah, he's right here.
His
Oh
name
my
is
gosh!
his name is
He's
Big
so
Papa.
cute! He's adorable!
Would
Yeah,
you
he
like
hit the
to
head off
pet
another
him?
chicken yesterday.
Awesome!
No, he cut a chicken in half.
Did he cut it in half?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, he cut it in half. He's got adamantite claws. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Just don't touch him.
That is amazing! Oh my gosh!
Well, I'ma just sidle out of here. Don't come looking for me.
It's sidling out of here to get away from the weird girl.
Yes, and to go talk to Taylor again.
But I feel like there's definitely a level of like, I'm just gonna get out of here as fast as I can so that
A
she
little
can't trap
bit because
me.
he doesn't know how to interact with her. Because it's weird. Okay. Anyway, hey, Lord, I'm gonna go have another chat with Taylor after whenever I leave.
Okay. So we're gonna switch to Moon first.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was saying that specifically so you could handle other people because I feel like this one's gonna take a bit.
So Moon, as you get back to the door,
Yeah.
you can easily knock and you get a enter.
Mhm. I walk in, obviously.
He looks up and is like, "Ah, yes, Mr. Zoe. How may I assist you?"
So I'm going to pull out one of the lesser cores that I have and say, did someone teach you this, how to reset these, or are you my best bet?
To reset them.
To get rid of the programming, I guess you could call it. The thing you did with the one the other gave you. I forget who gave it to you.
Kevin, I
I
think.
could teach you, but I don't know how well you'll take to the skill.
Let's just say I have better chances than you did, and you seem to be doing fine.
Oh, dude, you were talking a lot of shit.
Shut.
You just see like the edge of a smile smirk. Let me show you. As like he picks up the core. What I did was I made an empty vessel. An empty vessel cannot contain any data. So once you refill it, you watch as he begins to fill it with that same blue energy as it begins to turn silver. There's nothing there to keep the color.
So
Does that make sense?
So is the core just empty after this point, or is it still usable?
It's still usable. It still has the power. Just when he takes it all out, you watch as he like moves the core side to side. When I drain them like this, they just become the empty vessel. No power, no code. Simply a very powerful container.
But an empty one.
Yes.
That won't do.
But once refilled, they're a blank slate.
Can I take the core and see if I can fill it?
You're holding the blank
Mm-hmm.
as you
Empty dead blank.
as you feel like it. You touch it, and you instantly feel like you are being sucked into it.
Mm. I don't like that. Fuck. I set it back. I think I set it back down. Fuck. Who taught you how to do this?
Yeah. Oros master that is no longer with this plane.
That is unfortunate.
What?
So with your connections, I believe I don't see it being unlikely that you'd be able to find someone else like him again.
I'd be willing to teach you if for a favor.
I was expecting something like this. What is it you need?
Just work for me, do a couple of jobs here and there, and I can show you how to do an event as we work forward.
I must ask what kind of jobs you have in
Odd
mind.
jobs here and there, maybe subterfuge mission or a bodyguard detail. Maybe make something for me, even. You seem to be good with your hand.
Yes. That would
You
be
know,
more suitable to my ability.
I never understood why some Oros take only parts of their body back. If have you never? He just goes, hand out.
Hmm?
He goes, he watches, he puts his thumb in his mouth and just makes a popping sound.
No, I have not. Not well. That's a hard question to answer. As this isn't exactly the original me. I could not tell you.
Original. Hmm.
Our group is a party of strange circumstances, and I
Mr.
am no
Zoe,
exception to that. Yes.
will you trust me?
Do you trust me?
Will you trust me?
Fuck. God damn it, Daddy.
No, you. No, you. No, you.
Can I speak to my roommate first?
They were roommates.
And they roommates.
Oh
this, this, is about,
no.
this is about the time that it happens, and he just kind of ticks and goes, "They were roommates, huh?" I guess I have no
Okay.
one else.
Take a deep breath.
Okay.
As you watch, he goes over and he touches your side, or the side of like your arm. You watch as these white lines begin to grow over you.
Oh, that's uncomfy.
As you watch as your skin literally bends apart, revealing a hollow core.
Hmm?
So basically, your skin
What this
bends
motherfucker
away,
do?
revealing there's nothing inside underneath the skin.
Huh.
As you watch as he waves his hand, he just slowly begins to turn as his palm is completely out. As you watch as a orb comes out of your body into his palm.
Do I feel different? Do I feel fucked up? Is this bad?
You feel a little weak,
Mm,
but you watch as it's almost like there's tendrils still connected to the core.
mm-hmm.
That must be
I
blood.
see. You are quite cramped in there.
Mm. From what I could tell, it's not an understatement.
Yes, you are quite old. Let's
Goddamn kids
see.
and newfangled cores.
Older, not an orc.
No, I know.
Dragon.
Here's a question for you, my friend. I believe I can call you that at this point.
Well, I am holding your heart in my hand.
Yeah, I know. Does the name Onyx Balewing mean anything to you?
You watch as you say that, he picks up the empty core he had.
Mm-hmm.
As you watch the color drains from yours and
Mm-hmm.
fills into the one in his other hand.
Hmm? Excuse me?
As you watch as the core gets it doubles in size.
Oh shit.
It went from the size of maybe an egg
Mm-hmm.
to
Grapefruit.
Pineapple.
Like fucking double the size. Probably to like, I don't know, the size like a peach.
about the size of an apple.
Okay.
Big Apple.
As you watch as he slowly inserts it back into your arm, as you feel a warmth begin to move through your shoulder into your chest, into your core. And as you watch as the arm, it's almost like static, begins to like close and you feel nothing.
What did you do exactly?
I transferred your consciousness. As you watch as he's spinning that blank orb, as he slowly begins to fill it, it doesn't turn silver.
What color does it turn?
Porcelain. As he begins to turn, as he turns, he sits on the ground as you see a symbol of an upside down biohazard.
You
Yes,
did you create that mark or was that already there?
it was already there. It was just blind to the effect. What I've done is I've reset this core. I transplanted your memory and your being into a larger vessel,
Moved from a cup to
which
a bucket.
now you watch as like he pulls out another blank out of his pocket. Hold this.
Okay, I grab it.
There's no sucking this time.
You
I don't
explode.
feel like I'm. I don't.
You don't feel like you're being drawn in.
It's not a core. It's a pipe bomb.
Whatever that was had you, who has lived multiple lifetimes, stuck into a lesser core.
And now I am in.
You're at least in a common. I would say common somewhere between greater.
Okay. I definitely do feel less restricted. It was strange.
It will open up you to possibilities and further enhancements. This should also make it so you can have the potential to learn the skill you're looking for. Because as he looks over at that core, because with these, size is the limiting factor. As you watch as he crushes it like a grape.
Oh.
It's not about size, it's about how you use it.
As you watch as he grinds that core into dust.
That's concerning.
Then he snorts it.
I was about to say, you gotta
strong.
snort that.
I do not enjoy that man's presence.
That man who?
A man who wears that marker on his face. He is not a fan of mine.
You mean the bastard that I'm assuming stole my old body?
Yes. And I believe the one who made your two companions.
Yeah, we are indeed looking for them as well.
Do they know that they're the one who stole your body?
No, I had no confirmation on which one of them it was. I only had vague statements, and
assumptions.
jumbled notes.
Well, if it helps, the title that I've known him for is that of the Hazard.
That
And
would...
he is known as the Second Son.
Strange.
Yes, well, he is quite an aggressive sort. From what I understand, he orchestrated the attack in Gaigon.
The recent attack?
The recent attack. Have you heard the news?
No, I have not.
You did. It was the recent attack that Flourish went off to go talk about. That's why he got called away.
We didn't really get much information on that. At least Zoe hasn't at this point.
Okay.
Their king is missing.
Oh shit!
Yeah, exactly. See what I mean?
Never mind. You know what? You're fair enough.
Honestly, with this point, I think one Wolfric might be coming back here soon.
I was expecting it would sooner or later.
Hopefully, I can get some information on some footage that I was just received.
Around that time, there's a on the door.
All right. Well, I guess that cuts our meeting here. If you think
I would
of
like
what
to invite you to
like...
stay.
Oh.
In the
Because
room.
This pertains to you as well.
Be prepared. That one doesn't exactly like me very much.
You may come in, Wolfric.
Open the door. Didn't know
Get
you
on
had
the
company.
Hmm.
Well,
So
the person you sent me to, well, weird as hell, and I don't know how to actually gauge her at all, was helpful. First and foremost, we did see footage on the person that you were calling the Descendant. Porcelain Mask moved either allegedly fast or had not conventional means of dispatching somebody. Was last seen 2 days ago. He was seen in the capital. About a day ago, he was seen in the what was it again?
Zobet.
No, it was an area. I can't remember what it was called. It was a purple something. I guess it's
Parados.
Yeah,
yeah.
Parados.
He was in Parados a day ago. 2 days ago, whenever he was in the capital, he attacked Florsh.
Parados Huevos.
So there's that. Seems extremely dangerous. And I believe that's about all that.
And before that, he was in the plains of purple dust.
Yeah. Thereabouts, yes.
What I'm about to show you is shocking, and I made sure that my friend has not quite seen it yet.
Mm-hmm.
You watch as he comes over to a TV and he begins to play.
Mm-hmm.
You see a well-lit courtyard.
Mm-hmm.
As you see a man, trying, definitely injured, running away through a courtyard.
The man being anybody I noticed?
Not sure. Actually, military. Roll a history check at advantage.
Because of my background. I don't. Yeah, I'm sure. 11.
That is Alex Gaigon,
Uh-huh. I'm assuming that
the
means
current king.
Uh-huh. He's
He
injured and running away.
He is injured. Left leg has many gashes in it.
Mm-hmm.
His right arm is missing.
Cross my arms.
You just watch as he's holding one arm as it's slowly beginning to heal.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to copy my swag.
As he runs away, you watch as a chain comes down an alley, piercing through his chest. As you see 2 more pull out, as they begin to wrap around him and bind him.
Mm-hmm.
As you see the same man who you saw silver hair.
Wonderful.
Walking out of the alley with a man with a porcelain mask, red eyes, and a upside down biohazard on his mask.
Well, that's unexpected.
As you see as they walk forward, you watch as the one with the porcelain mask's hand glows as he reaches in.
Mm-hmm.
Moon, this will look very similar to the technique that you just saw.
Mm-hmm.
As you watch as he puts both hands in and rips a very large hole.
Mm-hmm.
Then with one hand holding it open, the other hand reaching in, pulls out an orb. I want to say the size of a coconut.
A greater core.
Coconut doggy.
A greater core or kingly core, whatever the highest tier is.
Grim.
As you see that and a second core, about, I'd say the size of a grapefruit.
Mm-hmm.
What?
As you watch as he takes the other core, closes the hole, and you watch as he slowly twists as you can see the man grieving in pain.
Mm-hmm.
As he begins to circle with this orb, looking at it, tapping it. You can almost see, like, there's no sound, but you see him chuckling
Mm-hmm.
as they both just vanish, along with the king.
Another one. That motherfucker, he's stealing my job! It was supposed to be my kill.
You can literally see Taylor as pale as a ghost seeing that.
Well, that's... puts things into perspective of how dangerous those two are.
I hadn't watched that yet.
You hadn't?
As you watch it, like, he sits down, he pulls out a fancy bottle out of his desk.
Mm-hmm.
You watch as he,
Rum?
like, pulls the cork.
Rum or
No.
wine?
Moonshine.
I was about to say, is it jungle juice?
As you watch as he takes a swing,
Mm-hmm.
Bathtub jungle juice.
that was a marker.
Don't know what that means, but alright.
The markers are the symbols of the kings.
He said
The king markers!
He said the
The
thing!
thing! Let's fucking go!
Yeah!
I hurt my hand slapping it on the desk
I
like
have-
that.
I have kept that one down for 10 sessions.
I mean,
Let's fucking go!
Okay, anyway, going back into character.
It's
Totally
now
serious
official,
moment.
Danny.
And
Fucking
I can
assholes.
finally... Basically, how they work is they match genetic markers of descendants,
Gotcha.
and then they unlock the power of the king for a chosen descendant.
Wonderful.
It's how they keep the line. It can instantly upgrade any core to the level of a king as long as they match. But only one person can hold it at a time.
Good to know.
If they took Alex and the marker,
There's a whole nother problem on our hands.
that entire kingdom's gonna collapse.
Yeah, nothing lost. God forbid they let the people rule themselves.
Are we rolling to see?
What if you assume that people can rule themselves?
I was gonna say, are we rolling to see how
They should have the option.
how dead Wolfric is?
It's like he's covering his hands. So you're free to go, Wolfric. What do you need?
Waiting for Zoe to walk out before I say anything.
He said we'll continue this conversation later.
Yeah, we will.
Both you and the other.
Let the door close.
Zoe has now seen Wolfric's racism.
It's not
Oh,
racist if
I've
it's about the
known it.
insides. Anyway, moving on, going back into character. So I had a little chat with Flourish while the other three were continuing a conversation with the person he sent us to. What's this about that
Okay.
tattoo on the left shoulder?
It's a tattoo on my left shoulder. What do you want from it?
Flourish wanted me to ask you to show it to me.
You watch like he's rolling his tongue with the
Moonshine?
with like the moonshine in his mouth.
Mm-hmm. Don't worry, I still have every intent of working with you because the ends justify the means.
As you watch as he takes off his
thing.
robe once again,
Uh-huh.
you watch as he goes over, grabs the back of his shirt and pulls up.
Mhm.
Spry.
Mm-hmm.
He has this symbol tattooed on the back of his chest.
Are you showing it to me on Roll20 or D&D? Or not in the DMs. I'm assuming DMs. Gravy just sent me a message. What did he send me? Okay.
It's a dick pic.
That wouldn't be surprising.
No, it's not. Anyway.
Still, it would not be surprising.
No, it wouldn't. It's gravy.
No, he's not that bad.
Debatable.
I'm slowly switching between things. There it is, finally. Ah! Uh-huh! Okay. So Wolfrick's gonna pull up a chair at that and move the greatsword out of his bag again. And just lean it against the desk in front of him. Just crosses his arms against the desk and leans forward. So that's what you're all about. May I ask how close a relationship that is?
None.
So just reverence.
I was taught to honor dragons in any form.
Fair enough.
Considering they are literally the only two gods left on the plane.
Oh.
An associate of
you.
mine, not one I very much like, but one I know of. He's the person who holds her core.
Mm-hmm. And what about Bahamut?
I am not sure who holds that one. But he holds on to hers as a deterrent.
And that would be where? Because I
Baldur's
feel
Gate.
like I... Wait. Baldur's Gate?
Baldur's Gate.
On the material prime plane. He has her here.
She's not on the plane.
Ah, fair enough.
But she's no longer in her cage.
That's still not great. But again...
Yes, well, when my friend was the keeper of the cage.
Regardless... And Wolfrick's going to tap the hilt of his sword. I think me and you have a little bit of give and take here.
He raises an eye at that.
Because, and I'm sure you were able to tell by that conversation earlier, I'm not too fond of the kings. Never have been. I've been, for lack of a better word, reset about a dozen times at this point, if not more, I'm guessing.
He looks at you, reset.
Memories wiped, sent back to prime age. Because I was seen as problematic. This is...
He instantly stands up.
This is the nth incarnation. I don't know how many times it's been.
He instantly stands up, walks over to you. Mm-hmm. He watches like he wipes his hands. Mm-hmm. Hand on your shoulder.
Oh, did I say the keyword?
As he watches those white lines begin to cross through you. Mm-hmm. And they don't do anything as he pulls back.
No,
they actually downloaded you.
They did what?
They downloaded you.
Okay, that doesn't explain what that means.
You watch as he puts one hand on you and pulls out one of those blank orbs. Mm-hmm. As you slowly watch as silver liquid begins to pour in.
Ugh.
As he watches he stops, he watches it fully pulls in.
Uh-huh.
revealing a marker that looks similar to your face.
That's deeply concerning, but what does that mean?
It means that's what they did to you.
They turned me into a core.
They downloaded your memories into a core like it was a flash drive.
That's not good. Especially if I was as violent as I've been told.
Well, depending on what they did, if they downloaded that into a core and then gave it a personality, I do not wish to know what type of soldier it would create.
Somebody with hundreds of years of experience.
Somebody like as he looks at the TV,
Like that, yeah.
he just shivers. I need another drink.
Well, regardless, you have reverence for all dragons. I want to unseat the kings. A little bit of give and take here. You teach me everything I need to know to draw out whatever old archaic power I can pull from this shit. And I'll tear it down. I will do everything in my power. Number one, to kill that motherfucker. And he points at the TV. And anyone that stands in my way.
Well then, at this point I would say, let's go for a walk. As he stands up and he pulls a book on a shelf and a passage opens.
Uh-huh.
And you two are going to walk away.
And that's where session ends, I'm guessing.
Nope, that's where you are done for the night.
Oh boy, wonderful.
Oh boy.
As
You
back to the
motherfucker.
party. What?
God damn it. Okay,
What's
moving.
Spry?
You're hogging
know
all
what?
the plot development. Hush you.
I know. Continue.
I'll be here afterwards, Spry. You can talk to me then.
I know.
As going back to the party, Kevin, what are you up to? Or Sky, what are you up to?
I'm just chilling. Probably being followed by Kevin.
Turn around and there's just
Well-
the skeleton man just a
Well,
suspicious distance away.
ever since like I learned that you have a criminal background, I no longer have any interest in you.
Dang.
That's concerning.
Dang!
Oh my god, that is
okay, old guy from
disgusting.
Okay, old guy from Family Guy.
You're never gonna catch me. You're
No,
Just
that's
in
Buttercup.
laughing.
That's Buttercup.
You can be the spirit of the river.
We just need a restraining order for Kevin in general.
Where's my gun?
Yeah, but what is Griff doing?
Just chilling. Probably just wandering. Wondering how the fuck you got here.
You're wandering. You feel as if somebody's standing next to you.
Return.
As you look over, you see yourself.
Oh. What's up?
Nothing much. I see you learned about my escapades. Before we met, obviously.
Right. Yeah. What is that about? Because it
I-
seems like something that's gonna come to haunt me.
I did I did a job for my boss. And then I needed to hide, and that's when I met you.
Huh.
Now my job is to escort you to Baldur's Gate. As
Makes
simple
sense.
as that.
Yeah.
Don't worry, my boss is a good guy. Literally, when he holds one of the only few gods in his own hands, how can you not like a guy like that?
That's fair.
But now, I'm sure you have other questions, like how you got here or what's going on. I'm sorry I had to hijack your body there a little bit.
What click
Oh,
you claim?
it's fine, I think.
Blue.
Well, just know, there will always be a wayward friend on your shoulder. as he slowly fades away.
Just throw up a peace sign and continue walking.
Sideways peace sign.
Yeah.
I guess we go back to Dawn.
Yeah?
I think
Okay.
Dawn and Tristan.
Which Dawn? That's the question.
Who dipped?
Who dipped?
Uh,
Moon.
He'll be back, I'm guessing.
E. There he is.
There he is.
That was strange.
Discord.
Yeah, but Discord just
Yeah.
kicked me out of the call.
Yep.
But so, what's Dawn and Kevin up to?
I don't know.
Would you like to go first, Dawn?
I don't know what I'm doing.
I assume the few of you who weren't in Griff are still there.
I probably would have left.
Wolf just left, like, not 5 minutes ago.
I'm taking Big Papa. We're going shopping.
Sure,
I'm going.
we
I'm
can
going
do
back
me
to
next.
the forces of nature.
Okay, Tristan. What is
So-
Kevin's plan?
Drugs.
So, upon seeing the screams of agony from the red blotches that super peppy fun time girl showed us,
God, I hate it.
I
Time you said. That's more of a Chica voice.
Yeah.
I because I know that I have a, do I know that I have a patron for
Yeah.
my Warlock stuff? I'm gonna see if I can reach out to him and say what the heck was that about, because I don't think I've ever met him up to this point. I
You
will
just
actively
hear-
seek out my patron.
You find a nice corner, you begin to meditate. You find yourself in a black room surrounded by graves. As you hear in a quiet whisper, "What do you seek, my ally? What do you seek, my ally?"
Drugs.
Knowledge.
Damn.
Knowledge, or what you were. What knowledge do you wish? Of life, death, universe itself. Knowledge of me, knowledge of you. Past we share, where you came.
I'd like the knowledge of whatever you just said, because I have no idea, because you kept cutting out.
Oh. Which makes sense because your connection to him is really bad.
Even
It's
even with
roleplay. Go with it.
Just go with it. Roll with it.
It's a quiet whisper. I
Are-
can tell you the stories of the beginning, the fall, the invasion, or the tithing.
what was in the beginning?
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was life. From life gave birth to sacrifice and bravery, but also death. And from death, a new beginning came.
Zynga.
Which then came us. You were the first. No, I was the first and you were my first. I created you to serve, but you outdid your purpose. So much in the last few days of the invasion, I gave you your own will. Did I cut out?
No.
No,
No.
We're processing.
I am processing. But why give me will?
For you are my vestige, my final strand. And with you, you carry me.
Is what I carry. So what I carry is yours?
It is the last of my remains.
But why? But why me? Can't you just? You created me. Why do you need me? Can't you just let me rest? Obviously, I'm not wanted here.
Near the end of the invasion, my power was weakened. I was almost lost. I must continue to exist to give people meaning. So with that, I chose to give you your will. You have always served me well. I thought of it as my final reward.
I don't remember any of it. What was I like back then?
You were quiet. You were whole. You were not covered in my influence that gives you that flair that I oh so love. You were my close aide and butler. But more importantly, you were the closest friend.
Then what is my objective now? If I have, even though I may have free thought, I still have no direction to go.
Your direction is to live. I gave you a chance to relive the life that was lost. That was my only goal in the end. We made our deal. We made our pact. You did your time and I returned the favor. Now it's my turn to watch. For as long as we exist, death may continue in the universe. The one weakness the invaders did not want.
And I think I'll just kind of leave it there because I feel like that's a lot of lore we just dropped.
Note I am here, but my connection will always be slightly weaker. For now, I rest. As you feel the quiet hum, as you feel your head is clearer than it has been in a long time,
Evan is suddenly sane.
you feel calm.
Give me a pack of gum and a dear chocolate.
Surprise, Tristan, I did write lore for you.
Dang.
It's like
You weren't expecting that, were you, motherfucker?
No, I was not.
What was that, dog?
I was just saying, Tristan over here, like, he cares about my character.
I'm glad that somebody does.
I knew you.
I mean, I'm kind of
You
interested
keep
to see where
trying. You
Kevin
kept
goes.
trying to kidnap Grip.
I,
Okay.
but no, okay, I am interested in the character. I just that doesn't mean I'm not gonna make fun of it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we all pick fun at each other. Kevin is a little more of the chaotic stupid of all of us.
Like everyone keeps trying to put stuff on.
We're all
Penelope's,
chaotic stupid.
Bank
Kevin
bank
just goes
account.
it easier. Anyway, who next?
We're all stupid here.
Yeah.
Percy, do you have
Who
anything
gets-
else you'd like to do?
I'd like to try and repeat what I did last night. I get in contact with my, as I'm now gonna refer to them, my benefactor.
Not with my chicken in the room.
Roll a wisdom save.
Yes, with your chicken in the room. Wisdom save.
As you close your eyes and fade, you find yourself once again in that black room at the step of the staircase leading to the throne, surrounded by the symbol of a large black circle with a white outline eclipsing the throne. As you look, you just see the bright red eyes looking down at you again.
Now, looking at those eyes and what has happened to me, or what I've seen recently, do they look familiar?
They look partially familiar, but these ones look calmer.
So, you have a vestige on this plane.
As he looks down, no.
No?
My sons do as they wish.
Dude, you procreated?
I'm not referring
You're not
to
there.
your sons.
I'm not there, I'm just...
I have a
What-
feeling somebody similar to you is roaming around.
I feel him. He walks. He doesn't know, but he is not the one you think.
Maybe not, but still.
Now, what do you want?
I wish to know what it is that you want.
Drugs.
I wish for a strong leader. Someone to be strong enough to unite and keep themselves together.
A strong vassal?
A strong leader. For at the moment, the betrayers only see you as weak. I wish to prove them wrong.
As do I.
As you can
However,
hear that sudden shift.
I too wish to prove them wrong. They have kept me in the dark. So I wish to repay them for that. However, I lack direction.
Practice your power. Grow stronger.
Grow stronger.
Build your
What? You're kinda quiet slash cutting out a little.
grow stronger on the fat and recruit and build.
Grow dummy thick with strength.
Grow dummy thick with strength.
Dovey thick with strength.
Oh, so that's
I
where
am
brain cell
giving
is tonight.
you the ability to mimic death. Use it well. As you wake up,
He gave the ability to mimic death? Is that what you said?
yes.
Okay.
As you look, the chicken in the room is standing completely still. As you see, its eyes have changed from that nice green to a crimson red.
Oh,
You
crap, the chicken's
motherfucker.
possessed!
Yes. Good, Big Papa.
As you watch it slowly fades back to the
Kill
green.
John Lenny.
Kill John
You see a glow coming from its chest while it shifts.
Can I investigate the glow?
Roll investigation.
Wahoo.
I give him the fucking chicken and it happens.
As you go over, you saw the same thing Moon did as you pop the hood.
All right, how much horsepower?
At least one chicken power.
Inside, strapped to the center, you see an Oro score.
Oh,
Fucking. Yep.
what color?
No color.
No color?
It is complete silver.
Don't you dare eat it. It is not yours.
That is my chicken.
You know, I am kind of hungry for KFC. No.
That chicken will be a valuable asset, I swear. It's gonna come and clutch itself.
This raises some questions, but also births some ideas.
Thermonuclear chicken incoming.
I may need to visit Taylor at some. No. No.
I go visit Taylor right now, I dare ya.
No, that can wait. I need to finish my shopping first. And I'll make my way over to the Force of Nature.
Gonna be ending kind of early tonight. It's early. It's only fucking 10.
Okay.
Oh, so there's.
We got less people.
I was gonna say, I'm not sure what anyone else would like to do.
I'm done for the night.
Unless Dawn, do you have anything you'd like to do with your ally?
I can't think of anything I want to do.
Weeper bot.
Dawn, I'll say this: as you are wrapping up for your day, you get a message from Taylor saying, "I would like you to support this team for the time being."
Shoots a message back. Support how?
Align.
Support whom?
Well, she's a hacker, right? So that means she's got to bring, like, he's got a supplier with a nice hotspot, right? So we'll always have internet, right?
He says, you'll be joining them in the field.
Ah, sweet.
What class is she?
Okay, we're packing up. I mean, we're packing up light. Because we can't carry the whole thing. We're just going to have to lock this place up. And if anyone breaks it, I'm going to break their kneecaps. Okay.
Oh!
As he watches one larger bot with like big arms comes out of the shadows with the red eye, and you see a large metal bat in its hand. Is it?
Yeah, exactly like that. Snap their kneecaps for me.
I am
Bob,
on
do something.
Okay.
entering guard duty, ma'am.
Okay, gotta pack and make sure I got like. See, do I got a portable laptop around here someplace?
Well, by definition, a laptop is portable.
Well, you know, a little one. Like not like a
Like-
big
like a-
chunky thing.
Like a Chrome, like one of them
like
Google
a
Chrome
Chromebook or
ones.
something.
Chromebooks,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd try hacking on a fucking Chromebook.
It's possible.
It is.
Not only possible, but honestly, if you're trying to hack into a Windows system, probably
The best bet.
preferable.
Okay, anyway, moving on.
Moving
I don't know.
on.
Are they on Windows or Linux or Mac here? Probably Windows. Probably
Yeah,
Windows.
Windows 98.
No, they're on Windows Vista.
Vista wasn't bad.
Yes, it was. Don't
It was
lie
the
to
most
yourself.
unstable one
It was the
Since
most
Windows
unstable.
until Windows 8.1.
Yeah,
Yup.
like literally, it could like they could be
11.
on Windows 8. Like
I
my
think-
actual laptop that I've got is on Windows 8, and boy howdy, is it the worst thing in the universe.
I
Okay,
think
anyway.
Danny's trying to
Packing
talk
up.
to Sky.
Right.
No, Spry.
As you two walk down the long hallway, you eventually get into a small circular room with a pillar in the dead center. As he goes up and touches the pillar and begins to raise it, you begin to see a metallic blue shard being revealed.
I walk up.
Spry, you would recognize this.
Uh-huh. Is that... Wait a minute! Is that what I think it is?
What do you think it is?
A certain metallic gemstone-looking metal?
Yeah.
Huh, Wolfric wouldn't know, but Leo does.
Do you reach up and touch it?
Is he motioning for me to?
As he opens the capsule and he steps to the side.
When in Rome, he's gonna reach out and grab it.
Roll
Oh, man, I thought you were
a
gonna like it.
Constitution saving throw.
I'm good at these.
As you reach out and touch it,
Only a 5.
you are going to take 20 points of damage as a jolt of electricity is rushed out of the material and
man.
absorbed into your body.
Okay, explain.
As you slowly begin to feel the power beginning to surge, as the metal begins to absorb into your hand. As it eventually absorbs, making a gauntlet. Or not a gauntlet, a bracer.
Just on one arm.
Just on one arm.
Yeah, you could have warned me and said it was gonna hurt like a motherfucker.
I figured you know.
I didn't. Okay.
When is there no... What's the phrase? No pain, no gain?
Fair enough.
Let's go back and we will discuss the changes that are going to happen to your body.
Oh, that's wonderful.
You'll start to notice some hair growing.
A lot more hair than you already have.
You'll start to notice some scales and back pain.
What?
Oh, great! That's wonderful.
your
Okay.
your
And
voice
that's
will
what we're gonna end
finally
the
start
session.
to deepen.
Damn.
I'm gonna rename my current character sheet.
This is the point where I get murdered, isn't it?
Oh no.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
And I think our next session is going to be the 2nd of December? No, 25th.
Are we skipping
No.
a couple weeks?
No,
Oh, yeah.
my brain was a week ahead.
Oh yeah, there's no
Okay,
session next week.
Really?
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Thanksgiving.
Wait, Thanksgiving is on the
Thanksgiving's on
25th?
Thursday. No, it's
Yes.
on Thursday.
The day before.
It's on next
Thursday.
Thursday.
It's the 24th.
Ah, okay.
That will
Well, also
be...
the fact that I work that Saturday.
Ah, okay,
Gotcha. Alright, so then, yeah, no, I was right on the money. December 2nd.
We'll see. I also work that Saturday. But so we'll see.
Bruh.
It'll probably be another hard 11.
Alright.
Hey, look.
Well, yeah, take
Hi.
care, everybody.